And we are live.
All right. Hey guys, hello, welcome back. Good evening. So yes, we are back with yet another session on Olympics on my mind. I know it's been a little while that we did it last time. We thought of doing it in Feb. There was plenty of action, in Feb. We missed out on that, but nevertheless, we are going to touch upon that. And so much of stuff is going on presently, and we are sorry that we are doing it as you know. There's a match also going on. Shrikant is playing. I hope you guys are still interested in watching him. So sorry about that, but yes, this was the only slot, so we thought that without further delay, we'll just get done with it. There is plenty of stuff to talk about, to look forward to. So yes, how was it, Kapil?
Yeah,
How have you been?
yeah, I've been great. I guess I am the culprit this time for the slightly delayed stream because I was on vacation. So I just came back और आने के like 3-4 दिन बाद we are doing it.
या
Otherwise
बड़े
पेमेंट पे हो
बड़े
जाता।
लोग मतलब हफ्ता 10 दिन भी नहीं, महीना महीना सीधा घूम के आते
नहीं
हो।
यार 10 दिन ही तो गया था। कुछ भी 10-12
Okay,
12 दिन गया था मैं।
seeing Kavita's story, it feels like it's been almost a month.
12 दिन गया था यार, 6-7 दिन भूटान और 6-7 दिन सिक्किम। That's it.
ठीक है, चल अच्छा है ना। सो यू आर ऑल रिफ्रेश्ड एंड ऑल रेडी टू गेट इनटू पेरिस मोड
Yep,
फुल्ली।
absolutely. ऑब्वियसली ट्रिप किया है तो वहां पे भी टिकट खरीदना तो जरूरी है ही। हॉकी टिकट मैंने वहीं से खरीदी है, सिक्किम में बैठ के। तो ट्रिप किया है
और
तो।
मुझे भी खरीदवाई है फिर।
तूने खरीदी क्या फाइनली? तू थोड़ा लेट पहुंच गया था ना। कोई बोल रहा इंक्रीज वॉल्यूम, किसकी वॉल्यूम मोहक? मेरी, वैभव की, किसकी?
हाँ गाइज, थोड़ा सा ऑडियो का बता दो इफ एवरीथिंग इज फाइन फ्रॉम बोथ ऑफ आवर एंड्स। थोड़ा सा
हाँ, कौन सी खरीदी
यूजुअली इशू
तूने?
रहता है इधर उधर।
कौन सी
मैंने
खरीदी
इंडिया
तूने?
ऑस्ट्रेलिया ली ना, फिर इंडिया
अच्छा,
ऑस्ट्रेलिया।
फाइनली इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया ले ली तूने।
You took India Belgium. I
हाँ।
couldn't get it, so I opted for India Australia.
कपिल वॉलीबॉल, वॉलीबॉल क्या है? ओके, आई डोंट नो। ठीक है, वट एवर।
Anyways, yeah. So that is, of course, that's one side. People are saying they envy your life. Of course, इतना घूमते हैं and इतनी exotic और इतनी remote जगह पे जाते हो. So yeah, all thanks to Kavita, I'm sure. But on the sporting side, कैसा रहा? मतलब, did you watch all the events which happened? Major Asian Championship, TT, badminton, सब कुछ कर रहा है follow अच्छे से?
हाँ, टीटी तो देख लिया मैंने। पीपल आर सेइंग मेरी वॉल्यूम थोड़ी बढ़ानी है। आई थिंक मेरा माइक तो ओके ही है। एक मिनट, ये इसको चेंज कर देते हैं। आई थिंक मे बी दिस शुड बी बेटर। माइक सीधा आ गया। और बढ़ानी है तो बोल देना, थोड़ी बढ़ा दूंगा। अदरवाइज आई थिंक इट शुड बी ओके। हाँ, देखने के इसमें या आई मेनली वॉच टीटी। टीटी देखा। बैडमिंटन तो ठीक है। ऑनेस्टली 300 वाला जो इवेंट था, कहाँ थाईलैंड था ना आई थिंक। नहीं, जर्मन था, सॉरी, जर्मन 300। डिडंट हैव।
German Asian Team Championship.
हाँ, एशियन टीम चैंपियनशिप आई वॉच, बट एशियन टीम चैंपियनशिप वाज ओवर बिफोर आई लेफ्ट। सो वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं था।
Hmm.
एंड टीटी आई फॉलोड। एंड उसके अलावा ये आई डोंट थिंक आई वॉच्ड मच बैडमिंटन। जो 300 हुआ था, आई थिंक थाईलैंड 300 हुआ था क्या? लास्ट कौन सा वाला हुआ था?
Thailand 300 हुआ, जर्मन तो रिसेंटली हुआ बिफोर फ्रेंच.
हाँ, सो वो दोनों मैंने ज्यादा
Thailand
देखे नहीं।
happened after Indonesia Open. I
थाईलैंड,
got a
हाँ।
chance to visit Thailand Open. I was in Bangkok that time, if you
ओके,
remember.
अच्छा, सो तू देख के आया?
Yeah, हाँ मैं देख के आया.
हाँ, नहीं
मतलब
नहीं,
I obviously have a lot of things to say. I'll refrain. मतलब in terms of fan experience,
मैं
कितना डिफरेंस है इंडिया में देखना और वहाँ देखना. Thailand Open being only 300, it is much better than the way Indian Open is organized.
अच्छा, ऑर्गेनाइजेशन वाइज और यू मीन टू से पब्लिक चेयरिंग वाइज?
Organization wise, fan experience wise, public cheering
ओके।
definitely it was off the charts this time in Indian Open because of Satvik Chirag being in the finals. So that atmosphere बहुत rarely तुम replicate कर सकते हो दुनिया में किसी भी स्टेडियम में. मे बी इस थोड़ा it can happen, but overall मतलब सिस्टमैटिक तरीके से जितना अच्छे से उन्होंने ऑर्गेनाइज किया हुआ था विद द टिकटिंग सिस्टम, विद द फूड, ड्रिंक्स, एवरीथिंग, प्रॉपर सीटिंग एंड स्टफ.
थोड़ा टाइम के साथ भी आई थिंक आ जाता है। या बट हाँ, आई एम एक्चुअली मैन जर्मन ओपन, या जर्मन ओपन मैंने ज़्यादा देखा नहीं। एनीवेज आई थिंक इंडिया का कुछ हो नहीं रहा था वहाँ पे, सो
Hmm.
दैट वाज आल्सो द फैक्टर। ठीक है,
Yeah,
एटलीस्ट वील गो थ्रू ऑल द स्पोर्ट्स टुडे एंड
yeah. Let's
एंड
start with badminton
and
only.
yeah,
If
I'll
we
just say guys,
started
super
talking
chat's
about.
also open if anybody is interested, and obviously chat is also open. We are reading the chat as well. So badminton से start कर, हाँ बोल कहाँ से start करना है?
So you want to give your quick review? Asian
Okay,
Team Championship. What are your thoughts?
yeah. So Asian Team Championship, obviously the big takeaway from it was Anmol Kharp, no doubt on that. She was the big star. Olympic point of view, say, yeah, Paris point of view, say, it doesn't really matter because she's still at ranking of 330 or whatever, and she's not gonna make it to Paris. It's not possible. But from my side, I can say this: कि I have always been a bit of a guy who doesn't value junior results too much. मेरे को हमेशा I get excited only when a person is able to achieve something in seniors. So for me, honestly, after Sindhu, there was this one girl in between, Dutvika Shivani Gadde, who had caused a bit of a flutter somewhere
Just
in
once or twice, yeah.
हाँ मतलब somewhere in 2017 18
Hmm.
somewhere she was doing very well, so I had hopes from her, but then she apparently faced a lot of injury issues and she's basically disappeared, and I guess she still appears somewhere here and there, but career looks over from a elite perspective. But other than her, the only female singles player I got excited about since Sindhu was Anmol Khan. People have got excited about Tasneem Mir, Unnati Hooda. Some even got excited about Asmita, Akashi, etc. But real excitement मुझे पहली बार अनमोल खल्प से आया. She was just absolutely awesome and playing the deciding match every time. And by the final, तो she was dominating. Okay. Yeah, मतलब ठीक है. You can still say कि eventually all other nations had their second teams or third teams, and eventually she was still playing like I think maximum she played like world number 40, world number 50, somewhere there.
Yeah, yeah.
But she definitely gives you some hope after Sindhu.
Hmm.
And uske alawa, obviously, the other takeaway also was that even Sindhu and Trissa Gayatri returned to form. Tanisha got a little bit of injury; they couldn't play much, but वरना लग रहा था कि सिंधु at least since she has returned, she is giving you hope again.
Hmm.
पहले तो बहुत sad लगने लग गया था, to be honest. And
Yeah,
and yeah, and the other I think is Trika versus Ashton is the battle I think you are excited about. So you can
yeah,
talk
yeah.
about that.
We'll touch upon that later on when we discuss some bit of race to Paris around
हम्म
both of them.
हम्म हाँ तो उसके
ठीक
अलावा
है.
या ऑब्वियसली एशियन चैंपियनशिप्स वाज ऑसम और क्या बोल सकते हैं
Yeah,
मेन
yeah.
मेन में ऑब्वियसली टू टच ऑन द मेन
Okay,
आई
we'll
मीन
come to men also.
ठीक है चल
Just
तू
my
मेन बोल
two
हाँ
bits here. Anmol ka definitely the achievement that she was able to, I mean, the results that she was able to achieve, it's obviously great. We won the team championship. Literally, she had a major role to play there. Just that I know there's a lot of hype being created around it, but I am not reading too much into her game or what level she can operate at still, because look, team championships are always different because there's a lot going on in terms of your teammates motivating you and you coming together as a team. So it is a different uh, stuff. When she starts playing more regular on senior tour in her own individual capacity, and she still keeps on producing those results even at IC or international series level, that is where maybe you can start hyping around her that okay, she is a perhaps real deal for us in coming days. Game wise, she's pretty consistent, solid. Mental aspect is also there. She did not look phased playing all the three rubbers in the championship. So that ways it's मतलब कुछ as such red flag नहीं दिखा एक तरह से बोलने के लिए. But yeah, I am still not getting excited about her as much as maybe you are.
ओके
Overall, मेरे लिए the biggest takeaway was the way Teresa and Gayatri performed. For me, they were the player of the championship entirely, given that they had beaten the Japanese pair as well as the Thailand pair. Both of them have been in number 10. आई हैड गिवन अप माई होप्स दैट ठीक है पेरिस का ऑलमोस्ट सेट हो गया है, कुछ भी नहीं होने वाला. द गैप इज स्टिल वेरी वाइड बिटवीन एश एस्टन एंड ट्रीगा, यही बोल लो ठीक है क्विक वो
हाँ इजी रहता
नाम
है.
है एस्टन एंड ट्रीगा.
हम्म.
सो या वहां पे बट द वे दे परफॉर्म्ड यार, आई एम दे वर प्रीटी डोमिनेंट अगेंस्ट द जापानीज प्लेयर. ठीक है लास्ट में वो थोड़ा सा ब्लिप हुआ, दे सॉर्ट ऑफ लेट देम कम बैक ऑल्सो,
हम्म.
but they were brilliant against them. And the Japanese player is, it's not like they are in red hot form right now,
हम्म.
है ना. तो वो मेरे लिए था. ठीक है सिंधु के लिए भी इट वाज अ गुड एक्सपोजर, मिक्स्ड रिजल्ट्स, एक हारी एक जीती, लॉस टू आया होरी, कभी उससे हारी नहीं, बट
हाँ
या
शुड
दैट
नॉट
वाज
हैव.
अ
हाँ.
bit of blip. But yeah, overall great achievement. Just that still need to keep in context that literally every country had sent their B team, but a good booster for our Indian badminton moment, so to say.
Yeah, and by the way, I was just thinking, I'm not too sure. मेरे को बाद में ये thought आया था. Have we ever won a women's tie where either Saina or Sindhu they have played singles and they have lost? I don't know if we have ever won a
नहीं
women's.
होगा ना.
नहीं मतलब दोनों के बारे
बहुत
में मैं
बहुत
बोल रहा हूँ.
मुश्किल है.
हाँ
बहुत
क्योंकि
मुश्किल है.
क्योंकि इवन व्हेन द टू ऑफ देम वर प्लेइंग इट यूज्ड टू बी के वो दोनों जीत लो, ज्वाला अश्विनी जीत लो. दैट इज द वे यू विन अ टाई. ओके. एंड आफ्टर दैट इट्स लाइक उनसे एक पॉइंट चाहिए, देन वील होप के कुछ होगा, एक पॉइंट या दो पॉइंट डिपेंडिंग ऑन whether one is playing or whether both is playing. But yeah, I
Yeah.
don't think if it has happened ke they have played, lost the singles and we still won that tie, which might Japanese tie might be the only one. I don't know if it is there
Hmm.
और कुछ है वहाँ पे तो.
Look, even when they have played, it's not like we have won a lot of ties.
हाँ नहीं, that is okay. I'm just saying
They have played and won that. Then too, we haven't won a lot of ties.
yeah
So
exactly. So वो तो हो ही जाता है. मतलब we had that good run when both of them were playing and Jwala Ashwini was there, right?
हाँ
That
हाँ,
was a
we did win a couple of Uber Cup bronze also
हाँ
with
तो
both of them.
yeah. So वहाँ पे वो थोड़ा था, women's team was doing well. But उसके बाद से until Saina sort of fell off, उसके बाद से we have been struggling only.
Yeah.
So it was yeah very surprising. And you want to talk about the men?
Men, honestly, nothing major to take away from it. Just that it served as a good platform for Laksh to get warmed up for this series of tournaments that he's participating right now on the European tour.
Hmm.
तो उसके तीनों मैचेस वर अगेंस्ट लिटरली 20 से 30 रैंक्ड प्लेयर्स के,
Hmm.
जहाँ पे उसने, एंड आई थिंक ही वन ऑल द मैचेस स्ट्रेट गेम्स इफ आई रिमेम्बर करेक्टली. तो दैट सर्व्ड एज अ गुड प्लेटफॉर्म. प्रणॉय केप्ट ऑन ब्लोइंग हॉट एंड कोल्ड, जैसा उसका इस साल पूरा रहा है. तो
दार्जिलिंग कोल्ड ही है. आई थिंक हॉट कहाँ रहा है ये साल, बहुत कोल्ड ही है.
हाँ
प्रणॉय के
मतलब
साथ
सेमी,
प्रॉब्लम हो रही है.
इंडियन ओपन सेमीफाइनल पहुंचा. सो जस्ट फ्रॉम
ठीक
फ्रॉम
है.
दैट पर्सपेक्टिव, बाकी तो ठंडा ही रहा है. यू आर राइट. श्रीकांत अगेन
तूने तो गिव अप ही कर
डिसअपॉइंटिंग.
दिया है आई थिंक श्रीकांत पे.
हाँ मतलब द इट्स द मैनर इन विच ही इज लूजिंग, राइट, दैट इज मोर डिसअपॉइंटिंग देन हिज ओवरऑल गेम. ठीक है पेरिस तो नहीं होगा, बट आई डोंट नो, लाइक लास्ट में आके देयर इज अ ट्विच which happens in his brain, or I don't know what happens.
लास्ट में ही नहीं, मतलब
Just,
सेंटर में ही हो जाता है. मतलब उसका मुझे तो लग रहा है स्टैंडर्ड हो गया. इट्स लाइक फर्स्ट गेम ही विल फाइट. ओके. ओके नाउ इफ इट्स एन एक्सेल्सन और समथिंग व्हिच ही माइट बी प्रोबेबली लूजिंग, आई डोंट नो, आई हैव नॉट सीन द स्कोर. बट ठीक है, एक्सेल्सन या कोई है तो बात अलग है. बट इन
mm,
जनरल फर्स्ट गेम ही फाइट्स, ही डज वेल. एंड देन सेकंड गेम के मिडिल में कुछ हो जाता है सडनली.
yeah,
इट्स लाइक सेकंड
true.
गेम के मिड गेम इंटरवल तक ही इज ओके. फिर पता नहीं क्या होता है. एज ही स्टार्ट्स अप्रोचिंग द मिड गेम इंटरवल, जो errors start happening and it just goes away. And yeah, obviously 19-12 against Momota, matlab that was with 2 points to the next round.
And
वो
it's not like Momota was playing awesome
नहीं,
or
Momota is
really
just
well.
a name. Momota at this point is just a name.
No, no, that is okay. That is also there. It's a different thing. But Momota in that game just kept things very simple and basic.
Yeah, it was
It
full
was
errors. हाँ
only Shrikant all over the place.
हाँ मैंने देखा वो 19-12 से 20-12 में आई थिंक ममोटा ने वो 8 पॉइंट में से मे बी 3 पॉइंट जीते होंगे, 5 पॉइंट श्रीकांत ने छोड़े होंगे.
हाँ, exactly.
Something like that. Okay, I don't remember the exact thing,
Yeah.
but something like that. Yeah, it was shocking. और ठीक है, मैं डीले पे देख रहा था, तुम लोग के ट्विटर पे बड़े मजे कर रहे थे तुम लोग कि भैया ये जब इसने श्रीकांत का देखेगा तब क्या होएगा.
ओके।
हाँ, बट ठीक है या
हाँ,
बट
मेरे को याद आया।
but it to but ठीक है I mean the only thing you can say about Srikanth is कि okay I guess last year से थोड़ा improvement है maybe after the Asian Championships where he won this match ना किसके सामने भी जीता last third set में 11-3 won uh,
आई थिंक
against a good
सीटीसी
player
था
हाँ against
against,
a good player I don't remember who
I think French Open we had beaten CTC in the first round if I
हाँ
remember
CTC को भी
correctly.
हराया राइट वो सीटीसी बोल रहा हूँ मैं सीटीसी को सामने आई
Champion
थिंक
Chow
हाँ
from Chinese side,
I
right?
think CTC को ही beat 11-3 like in the third game तो एटलीस्ट मे बी थोड़ा इम्प्रूवमेंट है बट
11 3.
एक तो 11-3 जीत 11-3 नहीं सॉरी 21-3 हाँ एक तो 21-3 जीता था टीटी एंड बैडमिंटन इज कंबाइनिंग व्हाटएवर
Okay.
बट एक तो 21-3 जीता था आई थिंक
Hmm.
सीटीसी और मे बी समबडी एल्स बट या सो आई गेस यू कैन से लिटिल इम्प्रूवमेंट बट या श्रीकांत इज नॉट हैपनिंग unfortunately. And yeah, Samrat is giving the update he lost 21-9 first game and 12-5 in the second
Hmm.
game. So Shrikant ka is the good part about that is only Lakshya, जो तूने बोला.
So,
And
okay, coming from Asian Championship to now this present European tour, I remember in our last review that we did, you were not very
अच्छा
hopeful of what happened.
नहीं तने saying कि लक्ष्य won that 21-3 not Shrikant okay so maybe I
अच्छा.
remember wrong हाँ
Hmm.
बोल
तो तू ज़्यादा होपफुल नहीं था at a overall level Indian badminton को लेके
yeah
because you felt that everything is going down the drain.
yeah
Now, what do you think after French Open?
नहीं so I was gonna say
Where
कि
are
it's
you
like
at?
कि it is definitely moving upwards मैं इनफैक्ट बोलने वाला था कि it is good कि बैडमिंटन is outside of Pranoy it is starting to the main guys they are starting to come good as we are getting close to the Olympics so
Hmm.
Sindhu gives me a lot more hope than she did 3 months ago Lakshya gives me a lot more hope than she gives 3 months ago, than he gave 3 months ago and even the women's doubles pairs
Yeah.
Ashton and Triga maybe they have been spurred on by each other maybe just a national progression whatever you want to call it but
Yeah.
both of them are doing उनका आपस का मैच है फर्स्ट राउंड का मैच फ्रेंच ओपन में ही था ना आई थिंक
Yes.
which also was a cracker and for the first half it was looking कि Ashton आराम से ले जाएंगे and then Triga completely turned it
Yeah, yeah. Especially because of that match. And look, Ashwini Tanisha, they are new on the tour. When they won initially in the
hmm.
initial days,
Hmm.
they were relatively newer pair. Not many other pairs knew their game. So shuru mein there is a bounce which happens
Yeah
every time whenever there's a new pairing coming in. I
the
have
other
nothing.
people eventually figure their game out right शुरू में वो भी
Exactly.
थोड़ा फैक्टर होता है हाँ
Exactly. I have nothing against them, but for me, Teresa and Gayatri have to be there in Paris. They
okay
they are going to be a big X factor, similar to what Satvik and Chirag were in Tokyo. You would
okay
remember.
okay I think that's a bit much but ठीक है
हाँ,
मैं
I have my reasons. Yeah, it's their achievements and the kind of players they have beaten. It's very comparable. Their journey, Satvik Chirag's journey pre-Tokyo and Trisa Gayatri's journey pre-Paris is very comparable, and that is why.
okay
So they have to be there, and it's just that the gap is a little wider, and we will have to see if that possibility is going to be there or not. दूसरा मैं बोल रहा था हाँ on Laksh. So now because of one tournament, there is a lot of positive sentiment around him, and it's not just about that he's coming back in his form. He as things stands in terms of road to Paris, I think he's very likely to make it to Paris. He is going to qualify, and I think let's just quickly see what the present ranking is and what the scenario is, and why are his chances, higher than other opponents.
so देख I put the ranking down so he's
Okay,
what right now this is the Paris qualification ranking so
mm.
he's right now 15th right and he needs to be
He's
in
right
top
now
16
15. Yeah. So I'll let me take it in this way. So let's say let's consider 12th seed Lokin Yu,
hmm
who is at 62,000,
hmm
that he's at a safe spot and almost qualified because it'll be difficult for anyone to surpassed that as a mark for 16th rank. Okay, 62,000 points.
अच्छा, for 16th
Okay.
rank, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, just a basic assumption here that beyond 12th rank, that is, there are four spots open. Okay, four people can still qualify.
Acha, by the way, before you get into, I'll just clarify because people get a little confused here. Lakshya
Hmm.
has to be in the top 16, and who else is there doesn't matter. Okay? Because
Yeah,
sometimes people get confused कि जैसे Wang Hongyang is like the third Chinese, so it doesn't matter. वैसा सब कुछ नहीं है. Overall top 16 में आना है, then Lakshya qualifies, otherwise he doesn't. It's as simple as that.
absolutely.
बोल.
Yes. So here what we are trying to see कि लक्ष्य की जो पोजीशन है आगे चल के कैसे चेंज हो सकती है, हाउ इज इट गोइंग टू चेंज इन कमिंग टूर्नामेंट्स vis वी हिज अदर कॉम्पिटिटर्स, राइट? So till Loken Yu we are not touching upon. We are only going to talk about his other peers जो कि Loken Yu के नीचे हैं. ठीक है? Starting with I'll approach from bottom to towards the top. ठीक है?
ठीक है.
So I am not considering Koki Watanabe because the gap is very very huge.
And
That
anyways, there must be two Japanese. अच्छा ठीक है, but 16 के लिए तो है ही. ठीक है.
even if he's able to, मतलब केंटा निशिमोतो को नहीं कर पाएगा ना बीट.
हम्म.
केंटा निशिमोतो is already at 64,000.
हाँ नहीं वो
तो
ठीक है, वी आर जस्ट कंसिडरिंग अबाउट 16 ना, तो ठीक है.
हाँ ठीक है.
51 से लेके
इवन
तो
इवन
62
फॉर
होने
अ
का तो
16
11,000
प्लेस,
हो गया.
राइट राइट.
हाँ.
Now I'll skip Lee Chun Yi Taipei guy for a while, but I'll talk about the two Chinese, Wen Hong Yang and Lu Guangzhou. All right.
हम्म.
Now, what makes it different for Laksh is that Weng Hong Yang and Lu Guangzhou, they are playing All England presently, but they haven't entered Spain and Switzerland Open, which are the subsequent events after All England. So China hasn't entered either of them. All right. So for both of them, it is pretty much this present tournament, All England, and the next tournament directly will be Asian Individual Championship for them.
Which
So
is the
just
last tournament, right? From what I
yeah,
read. Okay.
yes, that's the last tournament, and unfortunately, one country can qualify four people, four players, if all four of them are in top 16. So even Lu Guangzhou, being the fourth best Chinese, still is eligible to participate in Asian Championship there. ठीक है?
Okay. अच्छा एक बार जस्ट कैलेंडर जल्दी से देख लेते हैं, व्हाट्स लेफ्ट. फ्रांस हो गया. ऑर्लिन्स बाकी.
फ्रांस हो गया, ऑल इंग्लैंड चल रहा है.
ऑल इंग्लैंड और ऑर्लिन्स चल रहा है. ऑर्लिन्स में कोई है रेलेवेंट नहीं है.
ऑर्लियंस में none from this list, nobody
हाँ.
is from this list.
सो नोबडी रेलेवेंट बेसिकली, राइट.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
एंड देन
इसके
यू
बाद
हैव.
then Swiss Open is there, which is a 300
अच्छा ये
event.
चाइना तो 100 है, तो 100 डजंट रियली
हाँ
काउंट.
मतलब you can't consider that because 100 के maximum ही 5500 points होते हैं. And anyways, no, none of these players have entered there. So
चाइनीज वाले भी नहीं खेल रहे चाइना में.
हाँ, चाइनीज वाला देखना पड़ेगा, चेक करना पड़ेगा. बट इवन इफ दे, let's say, Wang or Lu win, it will be a matter of 100, not even 1000 differential, just the hundreds only,
ठीक
because
है.
उनका bottom is already at say 4800 or 4500.
ठीक है
Even
चल.
if they end up winning it, so इतना ज्यादा नहीं हो पाएगा, right?
ठीक है. सो ओके, तो स्विस है मेनली. स्पेन
Yes,
है.
yes.
थॉमस एंड उबर कप. ओके.
थॉमस एंड उबर कप नहीं होगा बिकॉज उससे पहले ही ओलंपिक की कट ऑफ है. सो एशियन
अच्छा.
चैंपियनशिप इज द
एशियन
लास्ट
चैंपियनशिप यहाँ पे दिखा नहीं रहा
इवेंट.
है बिकॉज इट्स एन एशियन इवेंट. बट
हाँ,
सो वी
बट एशियन
बेसिकली
चैंपियनशिप इज अ BWF 1000
1000
लेवल
इवेंट.
event,
So we
right?
basically have only three after All England, you're saying, right? Swiss Open, Madrid Masters, and Asian Championship.
So yes, just
क्या?
the three events.
क्योंकि यहाँ पे तो
All
और
right.
कुछ एब्सोल्युटली नहीं है.
हाँ,
ठीक है.
ठीक है.
सो देन
तो
गोइंग बैक एंड जस्ट टू क्लैरिफाई, तू बोल रहा था कि इन लोग के 4500 या 5500 लोएस्ट होंगे.
या
आई थिंक लोएस्ट कितना है देख ले. 48 36 है एक, बट दैट्स ओके. आई थिंक 36 है इसका लोएस्ट.
ओके, ठीक
चल.
है. 36 है बट ठीक
हाँ.
है. एक बारी क्विकली चेक कर भी लेते हैं कि फ्लू गोंगजू हैज एंटर्ड इन.
नहीं ये वैन होंग यांग था, राइट. ये वैन होंग यांग है, इसका
हाँ,
36 है
दोनों
लोएस्ट.
का.
हाँ तो इसका 36 है.
हम्म.
एंड लू गुआंगजू का टे, टे, टे,
See, anyways, the point is,
इसका
even
इनफैक्ट
if
हाई, इसका या इसका इनफैक्ट हाई है, इसका आई थिंक
hmm,
43 है, 43-20,
hmm,
या।
hmm. So यहाँ पे the point is Lakshya just has to maintain whatever level of results they are producing. Lakshya just has to maintain that, and even if he, let's say, especially in case of Lu Guangzhou, even if he say performs round lower than him, he is still fine because the difference is of 3,000 points, right? So उस तरीके से he is still at a fairly reasonable position. Lin Yi, I thought that would be closer competitor for Laksh because similar to Laksh, he has entered All England में तो है ही अभी. Okay, he lost today, so that is out of the picture. But he is there in Spain, he is there in Swiss as well as Asian Championship में. But वहाँ पे the catch is ली चुन का एक बारी can you drop down? तो वहाँ पे apparently he hasn't had a like huge result. So उसके जितने भी results हैं, those are at like 4,000 5,000 range. ठीक है?
या
So even
सारे
if
सारे मिडलिंग है, आई कैन सी 43-20 इज द लोएस्ट।
yeah, exactly. So let's say even if he reaches a semi-final of either Spain or Swiss, what does he gain? He gains only 200 300 points, right?
सेमीफाइनल कितना है स्पेन स्विस का, तुझे पता याद हो तो?
मैं देख रहा हूँ एक सेकेंड.
समथिंग
तो
45 आई गेस।
स्पेन का 49 4900 होगा
600
सेमीफाइनल.
600 पॉइंट, ठीक है।
हाँ, 500 600 पॉइंट्स.
हम्म,
ठीक है. So then considering that also, Linchu Yi is
और
still
गैप,
very very far off.
और गैप भी काफी है, 4,500 गैप है
गैप भी
लिंचुई का।
काफी है, right? Coming on to Anze Young, many of us already know he's injured. As per Malaysian Federation announcement, he is going to enter. He's going to make a comeback only in Spain. And by the way, he has undergone surgery, so it's always not obviously not easy to come back after surgery. So Spain ka bhi, it's a bit of iffy whether he's going to participate or not. I am considering that it will be just one last Asian Championship that that will be a proper tournament for him, जहाँ पे he'll have to produce a result. ठीक है.
और
Then
इसका भी ऑलरेडी 43-20 है। वेन होंग यांग
the
इज
lower
एक्चुअली दी,
the
हाँ,
lowest,
या
right?
वेन होंग यांग वाज द ओनली वन जिसका 36 मिला अपने को।
Yeah.
एवरीबॉडी एल्स इज गेटिंग एटलीस्ट 43-20, और लक्ष्य का कितना है?
Now coming on to
लक्ष्य
Laksh.
हैज
Lakshya has
36।
a couple of 3600s. ठीक है, not just one. So he
कपल ऑफ
still has
3600।
a हाँ थोड़ा सा differential वो achieve करने का. And the good part about Lakshya is one, considering All England, again he's going against a qualifier Johansson. ठीक है, Johansson has been showing a good potential. मतलब उसने अभी recently किसी अच्छे player को हराया भी था. I can't recall the name right now, but still relatively easier match for him. And even if let's say he wins the first round and loses to Antonsen in second round, he still gains 1,200 points here, right?
ओके।
And then in Spain or Swiss Open, out of those two events, even if he, let's say, reaches a semi final between those two events, he still gains another 1,300 points. All right.
ओके, बट सेमीफाइनल इज ऑब्वियसली नॉट गारंटीड, राइट? वो यू हैव टू
For
होप।
that, so if you see the entry list in those two events, there are not many players, especially from top 10. Only hardly one or two players are participating. So it's a widely open field. Majority is so Lakshya is one seeded in both. So you have likes of Li Jia, Lokin Yu, Lee Chiak Yu, Chao Tin Chen. All of these guys are there, but none from top 10. Okay, hardly one or two. So that makes it relatively easier to make a deep run.
एंड या एंड
So
उसके उसके ऊपर यू कैन इवन ऐड, राइट, कि ऊपर वाले भी चाओ ली, दे माइट आल्सो बी अंडर थ्रेट फ्रॉम लक्ष्य, राइट?
yes, so even let's say he wins tomorrow and Lee Chiak Yu has already lost today, right? Let's say Chao Tien Chen also loses. Chao Tien Chen goes up against Jonathan Christie tomorrow.
ओके।
So if Lakshya wins, CTC loses, he's already sitting at what, number 13,
13।
ahead of Lee Chiak Yu and Chao Tien Chen.
हाँ क्योंकि 1200 तो सीधा ही मिल जाएगा। ये 13 नहीं,
एग्जैक्टली।
12 ना, आई थिंक लीची क्यू से फिर भी नीचे रहेगा 1200 में। सिक्सटी
13 पे
थाउजेंड
आएगा ना, 12 पे तो लॉक इन यू है।
नहीं नहीं, बट लक्ष्य पे 59,221 पे अगर 1200 ऐड करें
हम्म।
तो 60,421 हुआ ना। सो दैट्स
हम्म।
स्टिल बिहाइंड लीची क्यू हुआ 61,000।
हाँ, सो हिल बी एट 14, या माय बैड।
हम्म, yeah.
ठीक है, सो ऑल इन ऑल कंसिडरिंग दीज फैक्टर्स, नॉट dwelling further, he is sitting at a very comfortable position, just needs to produce half a decent results in two of the three tournaments. And by half a decent I mean like a second round in All England and a semi-final finish in either of those three entrants.
या
Of
फिर
course,
इवन
he's capable of doing even better than half a
हम्म
decent.
या
So
फिर
yeah,
इवन एशियन टीम चैंपियनशिप में लेट्स से क्वार्टर हो गया या यहाँ क्वार्टर हो गया तो भी हो जाएगा आई गेस।
हाँ, एशियन इंडिविजुअल
एशियन
चैंपियनशिप
इंडिविजुअल
में
सॉरी, हाँ एशियन चैंपियनशिप में।
वहां पे बस थोड़ा सा है, वन कैच इज सो लक्ष्य, इफ नोबडी विड्रॉज, लक्ष्य इज won't be seeded. तो
हम्म
वहाँ पे आई थिंक देर आर गोइंग टू बी 1 to 16 seeds and लक्ष्य इज एट 17th position now. So high chances कि he might face a top guy in the very first round. So it will be very very draw dependent.
ठीक है, बट ओवरऑल आई मीन इट लुक्स लाइक ही हैज अ प्रीटी गुड चांस।
Yeah,
लॉट बहुत लोगों ने तो डिक्लेयर कर दिया कि इज प्रीटी मच थ्रू। देयर इज इवन सम पीपल saying in the chat कि is unofficially already qualified, which I don't think it is, but ठीक है, it is one of those things where it's likely,
yeah,
but yeah, unless it's a big screw up, he should make it.
yeah.
That's the bottom line.
And there's one question in the chat. Will the seedings be based on this race to Tokyo rankings? Seedings come after. So I think there is somewhere in June there is a cutoff
Hmm.
date based on those, based on the world ranking in that June end date. They'll decide what the seedings are going to be.
Yeah,
So he
and
still has a chance to build up on this present form and reach top eight and get seeded as
And
well.
yeah, and yeah. By the way, the way these race to Tokyo rankings work is they will they will, let's say, merge with the world rankings at the qualification date. I mean, the only difference between them is कि जो tournament last year खेले थे, which are gonna drop in the next few weeks, they have not been included here. तो वो anyways merge हो जाता है. And yeah, eventually seeding will depend on world rankings around June, not these
Yeah,
world rankings. ठीक है.
yeah.
And
So
yeah,
yeah,
and
all in all, if he does qualify, it'll be first time India enters two men's singles, and I personally feel even if individually level pe they are among the medal contenders, but if we have two of them participating, it's a big deal, and that adds on to the overall
flavor.
contention. Yeah.
And yeah, and just to add, मतलब Shrikant is like very low. And given that he's probably already lost access, and क्या हाल है भाई? देखा तूने already हार गया कि अभी तक चल रहा है?
मैच तो खत्म हो गया, आई थिंक हार गया
हाँ,
होगा।
खत्म हो गया तो हार ही गया क्योंकि फर्स्ट गेम तो हार गया था अभी। सॉ इन द चैट।
या या 21-9, 21-9।
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so yeah, Shrikant is already way low. Uh, Probably no chance. Unless like मतलब he goes on like 3 tournament run or something.
या
No chance. ठीक है.
Yes, so that's about men's singles.
हाँ.
Quickly, do you want to switch over to women's doubles? Okay, before women's doubles, I don't think there's much to talk about women's singles. Sindhu is well placed. Just we need to see if she will, by the end of June and July first week,
Hmm.
she'll be among top eight to get seeded, just to
Top eight.
avoid.
नहीं, टॉप एट नहीं, टॉप एट के अलावा सीड्स एट टिल 13-14. टॉप एट
हाँ,
गिव्स यू अ
मतलब
बेटर ड्रॉ स्लाइटली.
better draw, yeah.
नहीं, because right now I think even that 13-14 is not guaranteed, right?
It'll depend on the number of entries, whether it'll be top 12 seed, top 13, top 14.
Yeah, and exactly. And right now कहाँ पे है सिंधु? सिंधु is, अरे रुक,
तो उससे फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा ना, चाहे जितनी भी whatever number of entries are there, she has to be among top 8 in order to avoid the big four before quarterfinals.
हाँ लेकिन ये अपन ने पहले भी बात की थी, राइट? माय आइडिया इज के ओके, इफ शी इज नॉट इन टॉप एट, then the difference is कि she bumps into big four maybe in round of 16 rather than quarter final, which
Yeah,
to
but Kapil, what matters is like how it panned out in Tokyo. She eventually built up on it, And in fact, this happened in Rio also. She didn't start off well. So one match
She beat
after
Thai in
another
round of
after
16,
another,
yeah. She beat Thai in
she
round of 16.
beat. But she faced first match in Rio against Michelle Lee, and she was struggling against her,
Ah, but
and
that
she
is
had
group
to
stage,
find that
na?
rhythm.
Yeah, that is
हाँ
group
वही बोल
stage.
रहा हूँ ना. So if there are easier matches earlier and you keep on building that momentum, that always helps.
हाँ वो ठीक है, obviously top 8 is better, but for me मतलब even the top 12 or top 14 is not guaranteed. So I am
Hmm.
like more worried about that, क्योंकि अगर वो हो गया तब तो group stage में only she might be out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I am more worried about that. But yeah, looking at this, hopefully that should not be a problem because,
Hmm.
but still, it's not guaranteed. But
Yeah,
if she's in good form, she should be okay there. And yeah, top
yeah.
8 is the aim. Hmm.
Yeah, so that's about Sindhu men's doubles. बोलना तेरे को?
हाँ साची की कुछ भी बात नहीं की है, बहुत कुछ उन लोग ने फोड़ दिया है, तो यार कुछ तो बात करनी बनती है.
Hmm.
आई मीन यार सीधी सी बात वही है, दे आर बैशिंग एवरीथिंग एंड दे आर ब्लास्टिंग एवरीथिंग. एंड फ्रेंच ओपन में तो पूरा ही फोड़ डाला. आई मीन आई नोटिस्ड, तूने नोटिस किया सेमीफाइनल एंड द फर्स्ट गेम ऑफ द फाइनल, 3 गेम्स एटलीस्ट आई नोटिस. आई डोंट नो दूसरी जगह भी किया कि नहीं किया.
Mm-hmm.
3 games I noticed they went till like 4 all, 5 all, 6 all around there,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
then they just took
Hmm.
off matlab straight to like 14-8 or 15-9 सीधा ऐसा किया. And then in the end game, when a lot of players are like, okay, this is the end game, now I have to do, they again, when the opponents picked up their game, they again kept with them, and it ended like 21-13, 21-14.
Yeah, yeah.
So they
Apparently,
won
Matthias
the
Bo
game in the
was
mid.
giving them like
कुछ
mid-game
5 points, हाँ,
goals.
like I heard something like 5 points के बाद कुछ करो या something, I don't know.
Uh-huh. So he was asking them to be at 5 first, be at 10 first, be at
हाँ
15 first. So he was giving those mid-game goals to them.
हाँ. So मतलब I mean I was wondering whether it's just coincidence or whether it's strategy, पता नहीं मुझे. Because okay, you hear Matthias Bo speaking, लेकिन आधा पता ही सुनाई देता है, ठीक से सुनाई नहीं देता है. You can interpret it wrongly very easily. But yeah,
Yeah.
in terms of play, they have just been awesome. And final में फिर वही final के fourth game में they couldn't do that. But मुझे ऐसा लगा कि what happened was that the Taiwanese guys, they came out like really all guns blazing, and they went all out. So that's why it went okay till like 12 all, 13 all तक बराबर चला, and then they were out of steam, the Taiwanese
Mm,
guys, and these guys then dominated. And I think end का game तो वही 21-15, 21-16 types गया, I don't remember exactly.
yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, they have been on top. मतलब
Team to beat.
it's getting to the too good to be true category,
Yeah.
which hopefully it can be maintained. But ठीक है, it's getting
It
to that
can be
category.
maintained, just that I don't know the Olympic. How do I put it? I can't recall the word right now.
Pressure.
No, not pressure, but the cynic in me
अच्छा.
honestly wants them
The
to
fear, the
थोड़ा
Olympic
सा.
fear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
ये
मतलब
वो
fear
हाँ.
नहीं. Let me
ये
try and
नहीं
explain
ये
it.
नहीं, I'll tell you, ये वो वाली बात है. तू क्रिकेट देखता नहीं है, लेकिन ये तेरे में वहीं से आया है. जो क्रिकेट वाले करते रहते ना यार, वर्ल्ड कप में सारे मैच मत जीतो यार, एक मैच हार लो वरना जाके फाइनल में हारोगे. दैट इज दिस.
ये वहीं से नहीं,
ये
ओलंपिक
वहीं
से
से
भी
आया
आया
है,
है.
ये वहीं से
जस्ट
आया है,
दैट.
तू मान. ठीक
अच्छा ठीक है,
है.
मान लिया. ठीक है.
हाँ.
चलो
नहीं
आगे
नहीं,
चलो. So
आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि
what I'm trying
आई
to.
एम नॉट सेइंग कि ये वर्ल्ड कप से आया है. आई एम सेइंग जनरल क्रिकेट से आया है, कि दैट इज द
ठीक है.
लॉजिक.
या ठीक है. Coming to my point, after winning the French Open, I already saw a lot of Twitter पे people getting ahead of themselves, declaring them Paris Gold winners already.
विद
And just that, if they end up winning All England also, no, considering how significant we feel All England is because of
या
our history and everything, hell
एग्जैक्टली
is going to break loose.
पूरा.
And that is something that worries me. They are capable enough to absorb all the pressure. They are beast mentally, but just that somewhere I feel just okay, अब थोड़ा सा calm down. And not saying that ठीक है match lose कर लो या जो भी है, but the fact is they are operating at a very high level. They are in red hot form, but still there are the Chinese, Koreans, the Danish pair who can on a given day beat them.
The
ठीक है.
Malaysians, Indonesians ऐड भी
The
करते हैं.
Malaysians, Indonesians, yeah, it's still very very jam packed and compact in men's doubles. And by the way, men's doubles format in Olympics is not a knockout stage
It's
format.
a
It
full group
starts in,
stage. Huh?
yeah. Now imagine just four seeds, which separates Satvik Chirag, the Koreans, the Chinese pair, and as of now the Danish pair. Now it could be a possibility that within Satvik Chirag's group only you have the defending Olympic champions, you have the Malaysian pair, as well as you have Satvik Chirag.
एंड
So
एड्रियन एल्फियन तो भी ऐड कर ले अगर वर्स्ट केस सिनेरियो है तब तो
वो भी कर ले. So वही है मतलब it's the men's doubles is absolutely batshit crazy when it comes to Olympics, and I totally disagree with what Gopi often says, that it is Asian Games, winning Asian Games gold is difficult than Olympics gold, because Olympics is a
बेसिकली मोर
format wise
पीपल
also very difficult.
बेसिकली इसे इसकी मोर पीपल प्ले इन एशियन गेम्स ना एशियन गेम्स में यू
Yeah,
हैव 2 or 3 पीपल प्लेइंग ये ओलंपिक्स में यू जनरली हैव 1 or 2 पीपल प्लेइंग डिपेंडिंग ऑन सिंगल्स एंड डबल्स सो
yeah,
दैट्स द
yeah,
डिफरेंस
yeah. So yeah, still they have a lot to do. They are still not, let's say, as dominating as Minions used to be, or let's say Zheng Shiwei, Yang Kyong in mixed doubles. Obviously, they are far off from that level. And even for those guys, forget gold. Even medal is not a certainty.
या
Let's just calm down.
हाँ मतलब वो कुछ भी हो सकता है वही वाली बात है बट एज
Uh,
ऑफ नाउ दे आर फ्लाइंग दे आर लिटरली फ्लाइंग
yeah, as of now, they are, yes.
ठीक
So
है
yeah,
और तुझे किसकी
women's
बात करनी
doubles.
थी वुमेन्स
Just
डबल्स
quickly, women's doubles.
आई थिंक वी आर बैक अकॉर्डिंग टू मी
We are. I
या
can't see it on the live though.
एक रिफ्रेश मार
We are. We are.
या
Yes.
रिफ्रेश प्लीज
Guys, I hope it's visible. Yes, back. Okay. Cool.
यार ये आई डोंट नो ये ओबीएस के साथ क्या हो रहा है इफ एनीबॉडी बाय द वे वाचिंग नोज व्हाट्स हैपनिंग विद व्हाट टू डू व्हेन ओबीएस कीप्स हैंगिंग पिंग मी और समथिंग आई डोंट नो क्या हो रहा है जस्ट की कभी भी क्रैश हो जाता है अचानक चल बोल
Hmm. So women's doubles, mein, if you see, Guy, Tanisha and Ashwini are comfortably placed at 11th position in race to Tokyo, race to Paris, and from Tanisha Ashwini to Trisa Gayatri, it's a gap of some
5000
5,000 points.
क्या हुआ तुझे
And
तू बोल ना नॉर्मल
yeah,
डोंट वरी
क्या हुआ?
आराम से नहीं नहीं कुछ नहीं डोंट वरी आराम से बोल
Worry about what?
नहीं नहीं नथिंग गो अहेड
Yeah. So it's we are left with only four events. आज का अगर डिस्काउंट भी कर दे, they have to win today's match also. So उसमें भी let's say they win today, then they go on and reach semi-finals of one of the two 300 events. They also make quarterfinals of Asian Championship. Still, it will be difficult for them to surpass Ashwini and Tanisha. And it's not like Ashwini and Tanisha are going to sit idle and not win even a single match of their own, right? They're facing the Hong Kong pair in All England, and it's pretty much a winnable match for them. Yeah,
आई थिंक करना वन ऑफ द 1000 वाले इवेंट्स में ही पड़ेगा दे हैव 2000 इवेंट्स राइट दे हैव ऑल इंग्लैंड एंड दे हैव एशियन
yeah,
चैंपियनशिप
yeah.
वन ऑफ द टू में करना पड़ेगा आई थिंक
करना पड़ेगा. ऑल इंग्लैंड में जो उन्होंने पिछले 2 साल किया, लाइक अ सेमीफाइनल,
हाँ
दैट बिग ऑफ अ रिजल्ट इज व्हाट इज नीडेड. लेट्स से विन अ 300 title or reach a semi-final of either All England or Asian Championship.
yeah and as we were talking I think they haven't won a game against the Indonesian pair they are facing today right uh,
Hmm.
I think yeah I read somewhere they haven't won a single game against them
हाँ वो तो आई एम गेसिंग एक दो मैचेस ही हुए होंगे,
हाँ
ज्यादा
हाँ
मैचेस नहीं
हाँ
हुए
ठीक है yeah
होंगे.
so that's
Yeah, just
badminton
2 matches.
so I guess that's badminton right overall at least I am definitely more excited than I was 3 months ago only issue has been Pranoy from a Olympic perspective.
Pranoy, yes, it's been an issue. I think he'll be fine by the time Paris comes. Still, I'm the paramount importance is him being there in Paris. That's what matters. And World Championship में देखा ना, like when he prepares well,
Hmm.
he has higher ceiling. He on a given day he can beat any player. So that ways I think he'll be fine by then. उससे पहले उसका I think यही चलता रहेगा. Like he'll keep on blowing hot and cold.
ठीक है, देखते हैं, होपफुली यू आर राइट. या उसके आगे शुड वी मूव एड, आई थिंक टीटी नेक्स्ट.
Yeah, you wanna start?
या टेबल टेनिस में आई मीन
Biggest ever result in Indian table tennis history.
yeah, I mean it's depends on which one you're talking about. At this point I have to say that because I don't even know which one you're talking about.
The
कि
Paris qualification or the beating the two
yeah,
Chinese players.
yeah, you
I
kind
was
of
talking about beating the Chinese players.
even
Paris was still somewhat expected. Like when you were tweeting, no, Kapil,
uh,
in matches ke baad,
hmm.
like I could sense your excitement in those tweets, and I could literally sense you shouting in those tweets. You know.
अरे I was मुझे मतलब see I don't know what happened that day. मतलब I was awake somehow. I don't remember why I was awake. मतलब ठीक है, मेरा sleep schedule anyways weird ही होता है. But I was awake and my thought was ठीक है, they are playing यार, लेकिन इंडिया चाइना क्या देखना है, पूरी तरह से पिटाई होएगी, क्या देखना है, ठीक है चलो अभी उठ गए, कुछ काम है नहीं तो चला लेते हैं. And then with every passing game I'm like क्या हो रहा है. I could not digest literally what the f is happening. मेरा यही रिएक्शन था, ये हो क्या रहा है. And initially it was like ठीक है, maybe आइका के साथ okay she uses a different rubber, maybe वो सुंग ईशा नहीं समझ
Different
पाई,
game
but
style,
हाँ,
yeah.
but still मतलब still okay, she is world number one and she is a clear world number one, right? If you look at the ranking she is well clear of world number two as well,
Yeah, well
Sung
ahead of
Isha.
others. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like ये क्या हो रहा है, and every time it's like ठीक है एक गेम जीत लिया फाइन नॉट मोर, दो गेम जीत लिया फाइन नॉट मोर, तीसरे गेम में अच्छा ठीक है लीड है यार, नहीं छोड़ेगी, लीड नहीं होने वाला है. And then it just kept going and it kept going and it kept going, and then suddenly then Shrija is winning 3-0. I really didn't know what was happening there. And I still hold, I think that is the upset. मतलब I said it's upset of the year. I think it's more than that. I पूरा Olympics आने वाला है. I don't see that level of upset being beaten because China in table tennis is just next level. वो
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
वो हारते ही नहीं है.
Just I'm just being a bit of devil's advocate here. Do you think the same results are happening anytime in an individual event?
Well, Shrija came very close in the individual event right now. She lost 11-8 in the decider against
In
Wang
the
Manu.
Singapore Masters
हाँ अभी जो सिंगापुर स्मैश हुआ है,
match,
which
yeah.
by the way is the is sort of like the grand slam, जो मुझे
Hmm.
बाद में पता चला. They are these two sort of grand slams you can say. एक ये सिंगापुर स्मैश होता है और एक दूसरा WTT चैंपियंस which is gonna happen in a while. So they are apparently bigger than the WTT contender events, which I didn't
Yeah.
know earlier.
But then on other side, China doesn't take easy even in team championships, right? I
No,
read
no.
somewhere she hadn't lost even a single match in the
या
entire team
हाँ कुछ
championship.
ऐसे 17 मैच में शी हैज नॉट लॉस्ट और समथिंग, एंड दे वर शेकन. और मतलब honestly the point over here कि the narrative is that it's these Indian girls are using these unusual rubbers which is anti-spin and long pimples and whatever, and the Chinese are not used to it because they mainly just play those top players. Those top players all use that same standard rubber which you see, जो किसी ने भी अगर टेबल टेनिस कभी खेला है तो जो स्मूथ वाला रबर होता है सब लोग वही यूज करते हैं, सबको वही अच्छा लगता है. But these guys are starting to use different rubbers, and those rubbers are confusing the Chinese right from Sutilta and Aika when she
Yeah,
did it in the Asian Games. So there is that concept ki, okay, you know, maybe once Chinese will get used to it, then maybe it might not happen. There is also the other concept that people might now see Indian girls are having success with these rubbers, so maybe they will start using experimenting with other rubbers.
mm,
मानिका यूज करती है अपने लॉन्ग पिंपल्स सिंस अ लॉन्ग
yeah,
टाइम, लेकिन देन मानिका के साथ ये हो गया कि हर स्टाइल इज नाउ वही वाली बात है कि
mm.
people are used to her style, right? She's
Caught
been
up with
around.
everyone, yeah.
हाँ, she's been around the top 50 for a while. तो उसका मैच होता रहता है चाइनीज के साथ, बिकॉज ऑफ विच मे बी she was not the one who's causing trouble to the Chinese. It was Aika and Shrija doing
Yeah,
all that.
yeah.
But yeah,
But yeah, these girls are not afraid of anyone, right?
yeah,
And after these matches, for sure, the confidence will be there. And
it
uh,
it
how
was
excited
yeah,
how
it was mind
excited are you
boggling.
to watch them in Paris? Are you going to go for them or what?
Yeah, so I want to go for them. The only problem is the schedule is not there. You don't know kya hone wala hai, because the point is the matches are split in like 4 sessions and you have no idea where India will play, and
Okay.
it
And it's
clashes with other things as well.
hmm.
So
And
I
it's
think
fairly certain it'll be Manika, Aika, Srija, and
I'm
one
not
more.
sure. No, I'm not sure on that.
Who
Because
else?
see, the first question is यहाँ पे जो हुआ in the World Championship, you have 5 singles, right? In Paris, you have one doubles and 4 singles.
Four singles, yeah.
So now the moment you have one doubles, you have to consider Sutilta, because Sutilta and Aika have become a terrific pair. Even in
Hmm.
Singapore Smash, जो भी चल रहा है, which I said is like the Grand Slam of table
Hmm.
tennis,
Hmm.
only two people are in the second round. One is Achandra Sharat Kamal, who had a first round against a Chile player, and
Hmm.
the other is Sutilta and Aika, the women's doubles
Hmm.
pair of Sutilta
But
and Aika.
then that raises a big question. Who do you leave out, Manika or Srija?
वो तो श्रीजा ही जाएगी. I don't see Manika being dropped. It is what it is. I
Hmm.
don't see Manika being
Even in
dropped.
Asian Championship, she was the one who sort of balanced the ship, right? In the subsequent ties, she continued winning her
Asian
matches which
championship
were
मतलब you mean
winnable.
world championship or you mean
World Championship, sorry,
हाँ.
World Championship में
Hmm.
after the first round against the Chinese, Srija and Aika's level dropped.
And Manika
They
did
they
it, yeah.
started losing.
Yeah, Manika came to the party after that. मतलब you का
Yeah.
मतलब it is one of those things, right? कि मैंने तब भी tweet मारा था कि Manika played against two Chinese, world number 1, world number 4. She won one game each, and people were criticizing her because she didn't win the match just because Aika and Srija did what they did,
Yeah.
right? But taking even a game of the Chinese is huge, okay? And Manika then came to the party for sure in the rest of the tournament. So
Mm.
frankly, I don't see Manika being left out unless like
Yeah.
ranking में Shrija somehow overtakes her
Mm.
or something. तो
And I
situation
think
अलग हो
it can
जाती है.
actually work out also in Paris because ऐसा है ना कि the one who is playing doubles,
Hmm.
so the third person has to play two singles,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
इस तरीके से है. So Manika can double on the singles,
yeah.
Aika Sutirtha, and then दोनों में से Aika can play the singles also.
नहीं
I
नहीं,
think
both of them will
singles
play
she's
one
a
one singles. Both of them will have to play one one singles.
both of them will have to play one singles, right? Right.
Hmm.
How is Sutirtha in terms of singles?
She's pretty good. She was in fact maybe a little unlucky to miss out on the world championship,
Hmm.
and she was in fact the second player after Manika who got to Tokyo, who went to Tokyo. अगर तुझे याद हो तो टोक्यो में
She
दो
was in
सिंगल्स.
Tokyo.
या टोक्यो में दो दो सिंगल्स
Oh,
प्लेयर गए थे, मानिक एंड सुनील था.
I remember
सारा
Satyan was
कंट्रोवर्सी हुआ था
there,
ना.
Manika was there, and there was one more. I didn't remember it was Sutirtha.
नहीं, और शरद भी था. दोनों में दो दो
Sharad
थे.
bhi tha.
हाँ हाँ,
Okay.
दोनों में दो दो थे. शरद इनफैक्ट हैड अ वेरी गुड मैच अगेंस्ट मालोंग ना. आई
How
थिंक
long? Yes.
हाँ,
Now
इवन
I
वन और टू
remember.
गेम्स,
Yes.
या.
First round only.
हाँ, तो सुतिलता वाज एनीवेज देयर इन टोक्यो. इवन अभी राइट नाउ जो सिंगापुर स्मैश हुआ, वी वर एक्चुअली प्रीटी अनलकी. वी लॉस्ट quite a few matches 3-2. It's like Shrija lost 3-2. I
Hmm.
think Sutilta lost 3-2, and
Yeah.
then Manika and Satyan lost 3-2 in the mixed doubles.
Yeah.
तो काफी सारे we lost 3-2, which is unfortunate. I think
Hmm.
और भी एक आधा doubles we lost 3-2.
Manika Satyan lost against a Brazilian pair. It was very much a winnable match.
Yeah, हाँ ठीक है. I agree, and I saw that match. They were like 7-3 up in the fourth game after being 2-1 up, and honestly should have finished it from there, but it didn't happen. And I don't think ऐसा openly disappointed reaction कभी देखने मिलता है. But
Right.
yeah, if you have not seen after the match, Satyan was literally on the ground, like
I saw
in
one of
that
the
pose.
screenshot. Yeah.
हाँ, so in that एकदम ऐसे करते हुए, मतलब एकदम जमीन पे सर रख के, he was literally on the ground, and मतलब it was one of those Olympic things, not just Singapore Smash things, because they reached the quarterfinal of the Singapore Smash last time,
Mm.
and they are now going to drop a bunch of points.
So how
And
does this impact
mixed
their
doubles का
chance?
qualification is also likely to come down to world rankings.
Okay.
So the way it works is, again, you have one team from every continent, the continental champions. So 5 of them already qualified, and the reason it's 5 is because the Asian champions were a Chinese pair, and China rejected that quota.
Mm.
So because they maybe want to send another pair.
Okay.
So China rejected that quota. So 5 of them are qualified, and now you'll have a mixed doubles qualification tournament where I think the top 4 qualify, and I don't know if there are rules ki only one per country can enter or more can enter, but only one per country can qualify. That
Mm.
is the big rule. Only one per country in mixed doubles. So 4 from there will qualify, and then you'll have about 6 or 7 on world rankings. या 6 or 7 ज्यादा बोल दिया, मतलब जितना भी है बचा हुआ नहीं, हाँ 6 or 7 you'll have on world rankings. 7, so it's like 5 + 4 + 7 on world rankings you'll have. So 16 pairs. So it's not that it's gone, okay, but it became much more difficult for them
Mm.
because they are gonna drop about 350 odd points. मैं देखा था they were something like world number 12 right now. They, after these 350 points, they are dropping to like world number 25, 26,
Oh
somewhere there
wow.
straight away. एंड या ठीक है, उसमें फिर अब ये यू हैव टू कंसिडर के हाँ कंट्रीज के सेम कंट्री के मल्टीपल पेयर्स ऊपर हैं एंड ऑल दोस थिंग्स.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what the qualification system is, but it became far tougher for them
Mm.
than if they would have, done something here. And this was the big event to do something.
Okay.
But yeah, वहाँ पे थोड़ा tough ही है. And by the way, that might also complicate team selection. क्योंकि ठीक है मानिका तो अगेन, अगर if you're saying कि मानिका श्रीजा is going to be dropped,
Mm.
if a mixed doubles pair qualify, they have to play in the team unless you're giving up the mixed doubles quota.
Oh, okay.
So if Manika Satyan qualify, you have to select them in the team as well.
Mm.
And
Yeah, that was my next question also कि ठीक है, women's side पे it's fairly
हाँ सत्यन के लिए
reasonable.
वो बहुत
Men's
इम्पोर्टेंट
side
है.
पे men's side पे what are your, like, early prediction who all are going to be there?
So Sharat actually gave an interview
Mm.
that he is happy just going for the team event. He's like I'm mentoring the youngsters now. मतलब ठीक है, these things change, but he gave this interview before the qualification where he's like, I'm happy going for just the team event. Send me as the third player and
Mm.
let the other 2 players play the singles.
Okay.
But ठीक है, that might change. And again, as I said, Sharat is now the only one who went to the second round of Singapore Smash. तो
Mm.
उससे भी फर्क पड़ता है. But yeah, उसके अलावा शरद के अलावा right now हरमीत is actually sort of playing like your top player,
Mm.
जितना मैंने देखा भी. So
Mm.
as of now, Harmeet should go. And then if Harmeet and Sharat are there, then the third spot is fight. Like उधर सत्यन है, मानव है, मानुष है. You might think कि मानव और मानुष को भी हमको डबल्स में खिलाना है, तो फिर then again it makes complications. Though I don't
Mm.
think that will come into the play. But yeah, and by the way, even in terms of, we didn't talk about the team qualification itself. In terms of the team qualification, this was one of those things where everything worked out for India.
Yeah.
मतलब वो पूरा अपन ने वीडियो बनाया ही था कि what all needs to happen and everything happened. And one of those rare occasions, everything worked out perfectly for us. The
Yeah.
men
One
team
of the one of those rare occasions where something that you predicted, even though in
मतलब
terms of assumptions, came true.
मतलब predicted तो ठीक है. I mean, I calculated. I was still skeptical whether they'll make it, especially about the men.
Yeah.
But yeah, men made it as the basically the last team, and women as the second last team.
Like towards the end, we were saying ना कि हाँ there is a fair bit of chance दोनों
हाँ
ही
वो तो ठीक
qualify.
है. हाँ वो तो ठीक ही है. But yeah, it worked out. And by the way, even the championship was great. देखने में बहुत मजा आया. I don't know तूने कितना देखा.
I caught up with the highlights बाद में जो
Not
Twitter
much.
पे आते रहते थे यार.
नहीं मैंने देखा right till they lost in the quarters. And मजा बहुत आया. And yeah, obviously बीच में एक women's का match था. I don't remember. I think the last women's का group stage match, maybe against Sweden, maybe against somebody else. I'm not sure. नहीं Sweden नहीं था, और कोई था. But yeah, the last women's group stage match was the one where you were really feeling the jitters. क्योंकि
Hmm.
the team was in trouble and they came out. I think we were down 2-1 and then we won the last 2 matches or something. I'm not sure. We won 3-2 in the end. ये जरूर मुझे याद है. हाँ स्पेन के सामने, यस स्पेन के सामने वी वर इन डीप ट्रबल देयर. वहां पे मतलब इट वाज लाइक चाइना को 3-2 करके हम है ना ग्रुप से भी बाहर नहीं निकले, तो मतलब क्या मतलब है, वो वाली फीलिंग आ रही थी.
Hmm.
बट ठीक है, वी मेड इट थ्रू. एंड बाय द वे द ड्रॉज वर आल्सो ग्रेट. अच्छा हाँ, सम्राट इज सेइंग वी वेंट 0-2 to 3-2, नॉट जस्ट 1-2. ही सेइंग वी
हाँ
वेंट,
they had a comeback, yes.
हाँ वी वेंट 0-2 to 3-2. सो या वो भी देखा था उधर. फट गई थी बेसिकली देखते वक्त कि चाइना को 3-2 करने के बाद भी हम ये हालत में फंसे
I
हुए हैं.
remember, yes.
But we came through, and men actually did come third in their group. They lost to I think Hungary in the group stage. But the draws and everything worked out. We basically got the perfect draws in the round of 16.
Hmm.
So yeah, TT
I
doing
think
very well.
I'm just excited to have women's TT team there.
Hmm.
पिछली बार भी शायद हमने डिस्कस किया था.
Hmm.
Some bit of थोड़ा सा makeup they do make up for absence of women's hockey team, and it's an exciting bunch, right? मतलब
Hmm.
if the draw happens to be थोड़ा सा favorable,
Hmm.
you never know. कुछ there
Yeah,
could be
yeah.
something exciting coming from them in
हाँ मतलब
Paris also.
एक राउंड जीतने का तो पॉसिबिलिटी है ही डिपेंडिंग ऑन द ड्रॉ.
It'll be simple knockout, right?
Yeah,
Round of
simple knockout.
16, quarterfinal, semi-final,
I
final.
don't know whether there are 4 seeds or 8 seeds, but it will be simple knockout.
Hmm.
And the other thing is also I don't know when the draw will come out. वो भी देखना पड़ेगा.
Yeah.
तू जा रहा है
Cool.
क्या बाय द वे टेबल टेनिस देखने पेरिस में तेरा पक्का है?
हाँ मतलब अगर ओवरलैपिंग नहीं हुआ तो फॉर श्योर, एंड
बट
आई
तू
थिंक मैंने देखा था अपना स्केड्यूल नहीं है
बट आई
ओवरलैपिंग.
थिंक तू फर्स्ट डे जा रहा था ना मिक्स डबल्स देखने. टीम
वो तो
देखने जा
है
रहा है
मेरे
क्या?
पास, मिक्स डबल्स तो है,
हाँ.
बट इफ they don't qualify in mixed doubles, I'll sell that off,
हम्म.
and then I'll use those funds for women's team.
हाँ नहीं.
Women's team तो definitely जाना ही जाना है.
हाँ नहीं मैंने देखा था कि देयर आर लाइक 4 सेशन फॉर टीम्स व्हिच इंक्लूड्स बोथ मेन एंड वुमेन टीम. एंड 4 सेशन में से 2 सेशन थे विच आर नॉट क्लैशिंग.
Yeah,
तो
yeah,
यू कैन गो बट या आई वाज वेटिंग कि ड्रॉ वो निकल जाए या कुछ थोड़ी क्लैरिटी आई वांटेड ऑन कि हु इज प्लेइंग वेयर बिफोर
hmm.
बाइंग. बट ठीक है देखते हैं मे बी
Yeah,
आई विल बाय.
cool. Let's move on. Another sport.
बोलो कहाँ जाना है.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
बॉक्सिंग चले.
You ठीक है, बॉक्सिंग चलते हैं. है कुछ बोलने वाला बॉक्सिंग में?
यार बोलने वाला तो यही है कि
एक्सेप्ट
यार
फॉर दैट, व्हाट इज दैट फ्रेज जो बोलते हैं हिंदी में, घंटा ढार हो गया या
हाँ बंटाधार हो गया या बंटाधार हो गया इज करेक्ट.
या
हाँ बॉक्सिंग में तो यार ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर में बंटाधार हो ही गया. द थिंग इज वी डोंट इवन नो कि क्या हुआ बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ इट वाज नॉट ऑन टीवी. मोस्ट ऑफ इट वाज नॉट स्ट्रीम्ड.
when the
एंड
selection was internal, so we don't know what happened there also, on what basis.
बट सिलेक्शन चलो ठीक है देयर वाजंट एनी बिग सरप्राइजेस इन द सिलेक्शन सो दैट्स ओके आई गेस. बट
आफ्टर दीज रिजल्ट्स दे आर
अब तो
कमिंग ऑफ
हाँ.
एज अ सरप्राइज की. फिर ये भी है ना, just before this world qualifier there was a Strajda, I don't know how do you pronounce it. There was that one flagship boxing tournament which happens,
स्ट्रैंजा
Strajda
हाँ.
बोलते हैं, Stranja.
हम्म.
So there again we had a few boxers who won those tournaments, like Amit and even Arundhati,
हम्म.
who were not a part of this team. So you do think about it that maybe world qualifier, the next world qualifiers, definitely they should be there. And right from the beginning अगर कुछ और प्रोसेस, ट्रायल्स वाला प्रोसेस फॉलो किया होता तो मे बी वहां से थोड़ा सा बच जाता है. जस्ट रेट्रोस्पेक्टिवली थिंकिंग.
पता नहीं आई मीन सी बिकॉज द थिंग इज दे ऑलवेज दे डिड दैट ओनली के second team went to Shranja and then the first team
या.
went to the boxing qualifier. So yeah they did well in Shranja but
Stranja also, outside of us, the other boxers were, I think,
second
from
string.
A team. No,
No
from
I
A
think
team.
काफी second string भी थे मतलब दोनों थे. बट आई थिंक जैसे अब अरुंधति का तो फॉर एग्जांपल एक आया ही था राइट कि
Hmm.
अरुंधति बीट अ फ्रेंच गर्ल टू whom अंकुशिता lost.
Yes,
So
and for another example is Nikhat lost to a Uzbek boxer who won the quota here.
हाँ सो वो ठीक है. उज्बेक वुमेन्स बॉक्सिंग इज कमिंग अलोंग. ओके 4 years बैक उज्बेक वाज बेसिकली अ मेंस बॉक्सिंग नेशन. वुमेन बॉक्सिंग में कुछ हो नहीं रहा था. बट उज्बेक वुमेन बॉक्सिंग इज कमिंग अलोंग एंड या इन टर्म्स ऑफ अरुंधति का वो हुआ ही कि अरुंधति फ्रांस एंड अंकुशिता का वो इशू हुआ. एंड
Yeah.
या अमित डिड विन द टाइटल. So but I don't think the top 51 kg guys were there.
Some familiar name were definitely
Maybe
there.
I'm not
I
sure.
remember reading an article on Amit and getting excited about it because he
Hmm.
did beat a familiar guy, which
Hmm.
which sort of showcased कि हाँ ठीक है, he's coming back to the top level.
Hmm.
I think we still might end up winning a couple of quotas in men's boxing.
एक दो तो आ ही
Second
जाने.
qualifier में, especially Nishant, and
Hmm.
again if they select
Deepak or
Amit
Amit or even Deepak I
instead
think
of
can win.
Deepak. he also can win, but I think abhi to it's enough. Like he has had a couple of chances. They should definitely give the last chance to Amit.
Yeah, I mean, I am always like, return back to trials. I am always in favor of trials, or जो भी trial जीतता है, let them go. But ठीक है, I don't have strong opinions on who should go. Uh, but yeah, the one thing which I will say, which I did see, out of the seven boxers, male boxers, right? Out of the seven male boxers who went, six of them lost to boxers who eventually won the quota.
Won the quota, yeah.
सो यू कैन से दैट, मतलब ठीक है, मतलब इट्स गेटिंग टू द पॉइंट कि आप कितने लोगों से हारोगे, राइट? यू हैव टू बीट समबडी, बट
Yeah.
ठीक है, बट सिक्स ऑफ देम डिड लूज टू गाइज हु विन द कोटा, सो वट एवर फॉर दैट्स वर्थ. एंड दीपक के केस में अगेन वही बात है कि फाइट्स आई तो है नहीं. एंड इफ यू फॉलो दैट टेलर हिगिंस on Twitter, he's been going around कि the judging is just absolutely shambles, कुछ भी हो रहा
That's
है.
that's what
हाँ.
his default reaction is also
नहीं,
always. No?
बट इस बार थोड़ा ज्यादा है कि इट्स लाइक ही सेइंग के कुछ ज्यादा ही शैम्बल्स हो रहे हैं.
Mm.
दैट्स व्हाट एटलीस्ट
That's
आई गेट द फीलिंग.
that's
हाँ, बट ठीक है.
always going to be the case, and usi mein hi, I think so. I'd like to answer Gururaj here. He says that aren't we overreacting? Ki हाँ ठीक है, it wasn't expected. इतनी क्या disappointment है? So for me at least, I feel boxing especially it's a numbers game,
हम्म.
and what I mean by numbers game is if we enter like let's enter as many as boxers because that simply increases our chances of getting a medal because there is no surety, no pattern, nothing, right? Something that happened with Lavlina in Tokyo. You get the slightest of the favorable draw, you end up winning a medal because right now there is no seeding which is finalized. You don't know if the top boxers are going to be separated into
आई थिंक
separate quarters and stuff like that.
आई थिंक है
So
सीडिंग इन पेरिस, बट आई एम नॉट श्योर.
पेरिस में सीडिंग होगी बट किस बेसिस पे होगी वी
हाँ, वो
डोंट नो
बेसिस
दैट
बेसिस
राइट.
इज वियर्ड, या.
So there are chances that you send 10 boxers, a couple of them end up in good draws and वहां से chances बढ़ जाते हैं मेडल के. So that is how it can work in our favor. I strongly believe that लवलीना के केस में वैसे ही हुआ था.
बट शी डिड आल्सो बीट दैट वन टाइपे
Chinese
बॉक्सर,
title girl, yeah.
जिससे वो दो या तीन बार हार चुकी थी.
Yes,
एंड
yes.
शी डिड बीट इट फेयर एंड स्क्वायर, एटलीस्ट बेस्ड ऑन व्हाट आई
So
फेल्ट.
that's what, no, like if had she faced the Chinese or the Turkish girl
हाँ,
in the quarterfinal, so
ड्रॉस का तो हमेशा ही बॉक्सिंग में. आई विल जस्ट से दिस वन थिंग, मतलब निशान देव का मैच आई डिड सी. एंड या, मतलब यू कांट से इट वाज अ रॉबरी और एनीथिंग, बट at least both the commentators were leaning Nishant. That's one thing you can say. They were
ये
very
थोड़ा
clearly.
recency bias होता है because the very last punch that
नहीं
was
नहीं नहीं, उल्टा.
hit
नहीं नहीं,
was
उल्टा था. इनफैक्ट उल्टा था. फर्स्ट राउंड वाज क्लियरली यूएस. ओके. निशान डिड अ लिटिल बिट इन द लास्ट मिनट, बट वही चल रहा था कि इट वाज प्रॉब्ली नॉट इनफ. तो फर्स्ट राउंड वाज यूएस. सेकेंड राउंड मेरे को इनफैक्ट लगा सेकेंड राउंड वाज मे बी द क्लोजेस्ट which went to Nishant, and वो भी लग रहा था कि it should have been Nishant. And third round में the commentators were basically like कि ये निशांत की तरफ ही होना चाहिए, even though maybe the American got a little bit in the last minute, but this Nishant should have done enough, and they were definitely heavily leaning Nishant. And then जब result आया, then they started justifying कि maybe वो last minute भारी पड़ गया उसके लिए या whatever. But that was after the last minute. और तू recent सी बात बोलता है, तो then last minute in a way sort of went to, at least according to the commentators, went to a little bit towards US there in the
हाँ
last minute.
exactly वही वही मैं बोलना चाह रहा था ना because the last minute went in
बट
his
देन फिर फर्स्ट
favor.
राउंड में होना चाहिए था. फिर फर्स्ट राउंड में निशांत had the last minute जो नहीं दिया. सो और एंड ऑनेस्टली, मतलब ठीक है, प्रॉब्लम यही हो जाती है बॉक्सिंग में. इट्स वेरी टफ टू टॉक अबाउट दिस जजिंग एंड ऑल, एंड
Yeah,
इट्स गॉट टू द पॉइंट के मतलब दिमाग लगा के भी कोई फायदा नहीं है, बिकॉज कुछ भी होता है.
yeah.
बट आई विल जस्ट से वन थिंग कि बिफोर द मैच, ओके, दे अनाउंस के अमेरिका का भी और लास्ट बॉक्सर बचा था. अमेरिका के भी सारे कोटा के पहले हार चुके थे.
समझ गया वो तेरी कॉन्स्पिरेसी थियरी हमेशा की.
हाँ हाँ, तो मेरा वो आई द मोमेंट आई हर्ड दैट कि अमेरिका का वो लास्ट बॉक्सर बचा है,
वो
आई वॉज
उन्हें ही
वेरी
मिलेगा.
वरिड. आई वॉज वेरी वरिड कि अब ये नहीं होने वाला है. एंड जस्ट ऑन टू एड ऑन टू दैट, दूसरा आई से फ्रॉम दीपक एज वेल. दीपक की फाइट तो मैंने देखी नहीं, चल रहा था कि मे बी वॉज रॉब्ड और whatever, बट वो हमेशा ही चलता है. बट दी ओनली थिंग
Look,
आई,
let's not discount Azerbaijan boxers.
हाँ
They've
नहीं,
always been great,
नहीं
right?
नहीं, बट द अदर थिंग आई वाज सेइंग वाज कि द अजरबैजानी बॉक्सर हु बीट दीपक, he eventually met an American in this last bout before the quota. So
Hmm.
the quarterfinal, he went met the American in the quarterfinal. The Azerbaijani won. और वहाँ पे भी चल रहा, और वहाँ पे भी चल रहा था कि it was like one of the biggest robberies ever. And
Oh,
Azerbaijan has been तू बोल रहा है कि Azerbaijani boxers have been good. Azerbaijan is more known for buying gold medals during the time of
हाँ,
war.
तब जब रियो में भी, आई थिंक रियो
हाँ
से पहले भी उनका आया था
हाँ
इन कंट्रोवर्सी,
हाँ,
बट द थिंग इज होगा.
वो कुछ
आई
कुछ
एम नॉट
बोल नहीं सकते,
डिस्काउंटिंग दैट,
हाँ,
बट
बट कुछ
वो
बोल नहीं
एसेंशियली
सकते.
आईबा का था ना, कि आईबा यूज्ड टू डू इट, बट नाउ थिंग्स आर विद आईओसी.
अरे जजेस तो वही है ना यार, घूम फिर के बात वही आ जाती है कि जज, रेफरीज और जजेस तो आईबा से ही उठाए हैं, बॉक्सिंग टास्क फोर्स ने भी, कहाँ से और आएंगे,
पता
आएंगे ही
नहीं,
कहाँ से, यू नीड ट्रेन्ड गाइज, राइट. तू और मैं तो जाकर जज नहीं कर सकते, जजेस तो वहीं से आते हैं.
वो कर सकता है, गो
हाँ,
फॉर इट.
राइट. मैं भी कर सकता हूँ तो मे भी 3 साल बाद, अभी तो नहीं कर सकता मैं, तो जजेस तो वहीं से आते हैं. तो वही बात है
अप्लाई फॉर अ लाइसेंस, एलए ऐसे ही चले जाना
हाँ,
बॉक्सिंग का
राइट,
रेफरी
हाँ
जज बन के.
हाँ. इनफैक्ट बीच में वो कंट्रोवर्सी भी आई थी ना, तुझे याद है क्या, कि इट्स लाइक आईबा इन देयर बैटल विद आईओसी, they had tried to impose a diktat कि our referees and judges will not take part
हम्म.
in boxing task force events, in IOC events.
हम्म.
So and then it was like कि अब IOC क्या करेगा, कहाँ से लाएगा जजेस, कहाँ से रेफरीज लाएगा, रेफरीज है तो सारे उसी के पास. तो वहां पे then IOC fought and then it's like they got the referees. बट दैट वाज लाइक द वन ऑफ द बिगेस्ट थिंग्स कि आईबा ने बोला था कि हम रेफरीज को नहीं पार्टिसिपेट करने देंगे, तो तुम कर क्या लोगे.
हम्म.
बट ठीक है, बट बॉक्सिंग में वही है, इट्स गॉट टू दैट पॉइंट के यू कैन बी एज एंग्री एज यू वांट, इट इज व्हाट इट इज. इट्स लाइक देखना है तो देखो, नहीं देखना है तो मत देखो. बट
Yeah.
एज ऑफ नाउ यार, थिंग्स हैव गॉन वेरी बैडली. एंड या वसंत इज आस्किंग अबाउट जैस्मिन एंड अरुंधति. सो वसंत, प्रॉब्लम वही है, फाइट तो देखी नहीं. अरुंधति का भी चल, अरुंधति नहीं, आई थिंक अंकुशिता थी इन द क्वालिफायर. शी इज ऑल्सो लॉस्ट 3-2, तो वहाँ पे भी वो क्वेश्चन मार्क आ ही जाता है. एंड लॉस्ट 3-2 टू फ्रांस, तो एटलीस्ट मेरे को वहाँ क्वेश्चन मार्क आ ही जाता है बिकॉज फ्रांस इज द ओलंपिक होस्ट. बट
Mm.
या ठीक है, यू
Yeah,
कांट डू
they're
एनीथिंग.
saying, I did read that they are doing pretty well. The France is doing pretty well in boxing also, and one of their boxers is very hot favorite for a gold as well.
मेल
Can't
बॉक्सर या
remember
सोफिया
the
ओमी,
category.
हाँ, जो मैंने पढ़ा था.
Hmm.
बट बॉक्सिंग में इट्स अ वियर्ड कोइंसिडेंस, हाँ, जब भी होस्ट नेशन सडनली स्टार्ट्स डूइंग वेल.
हाँ, वो भी है. That's also
मतलब
true.
बॉक्सिंग इज दैट स्पोर्ट जहाँ साउथ एशियन गेम्स नेपाल में होता है, तो नेपाल इज आल्सो बीटिंग अमित पंगाल. दैट इज द लेवल.
ठीक है. Let's move on. कपिल थोड़ा
हाँ
भावुक हो गया है.
हाँ, तो ठीक है, बट
वो
बॉक्सिंग का वही है, कुछ कर नहीं सकते. इट्स गॉट टू दैट पॉइंट के डोंट गेट टू डिसअपॉइंटेड इफ दिस हैपेंस, बिकॉज
yeah,
बॉक्सिंग में इट विल हैपन.
yeah, yeah. What do you want to pick next? Shooting quickly.
चलो शूटिंग में देयर
ज़्यादा
वाज,
कुछ हुआ नहीं है.
या देयर वाज अ कपल
वर्ल्ड
ऑफ
कप
वर्ल्ड कप्स, राइट, हाँ.
disappointed. वर्ल्ड कप में तो नथिंग केम आउट एज सच, राइट?
हाँ, आई थिंक एक दो रिजल्ट थे, बट शॉटगन में तो कुछ नहीं हुआ. आई थिंक राइफल में एक दो रिजल्ट थे ना 10 मीटर वर्ल्ड कप में, बट नथिंग मच.
I don't remember any. We did place a couple of shooters in finals, but medal
हम्म.
medal तो as such नहीं आया था. I
हम्म.
think domestic trial side पे ज़्यादा development हुई in terms of shooting.
अच्छा, मुझे
One, if
मालूम
you,
नहीं है तो बोल.
yes. So Ashi Choksi, you know about her.
या या
She
नहीं
shot
क्या.
a she shot a 597 in 53p,
ओके.
which is better than a world record,
वर्ल्ड रिकॉर्ड इज हाउ मच, 595.
596.
ओके.
And I was just checking her scores. If you consider both national trials as well as international, I think it is her fourth or fifth consecutive 590 score, right?
ओके.
So beyond fifth, now she has also, upped her game, and obviously that makes things very exciting if both of them qualify. And I think उन्हीं के chances भी are likely that they'll make the team, Indian team for Paris, because they are cut above everyone else.
आई थिंक दूसरे वो है
So
ना, श्रियंका साधंगी इज द कोटा होल्डर, राइट, इन 50
Priyanka
मीटर.
Sadhangi is the quota holder, but she's not featuring even in top 10 right now.
एंड देन
And
एक आयुषी पोदल
presently,
थी, वाज डूइंग वेल. हाँ.
She was. Anjum also came back. She won a
Yeah.
gold in national games.
Hmm.
Anjum is coming back. I think she should be eligible for Olympic trials also.
Hmm.
By the way, they've announced the dates for Olympic trials. मिड अप्रैल में है.
हाँ, वो
पहले
तो
दो
पहले ही
ट्रायल्स
announced कर.
कार्नी शूटिंग रेंज में ही है.
Hmm.
तो वो भी एक्साइटिंग होगा. बियॉन्ड दैट मैंने जो देखा था, आई थिंक एक और चीज था. राही इज बैक इन द फोल्ड. शी
Okay.
स्टार्टेड शूटिंग 25 मीटर रेगुलरली, and I think she is in top 6, top 7 in the list presently. Not sure if she is eligible again, but if she is eligible and she, sort of regains form in Olympic trials, so that makes it very exciting.
But she'll need to
बाकी
make Olympic trials as well, right? Because
हाँ, वही मैं बोल रहा हूँ कि पता नहीं एलिजिबल है या नहीं. ऑल्दो शी दे दे मेड हर एंटर वन वर्ल्ड कप, so I'm sure there must be some plan to
but
sort
she
of
हाँ, but she'll have to be top three of domestic rankings, right? Because जितना मुझे याद है वही situation है. You have to be
top 3
top.
or top 5.
नहीं, so the idea is top three domestic rankings plus top three international rankings.
Hmm.
Plus, if you happen to be fourth or fifth in both of them, then you're good.
And also a quota holder.
हाँ, quota holder is free path.
Hmm. हाँ, इंटरनेशनल में पता नहीं
तो
कहाँ है वो.
इंटरनेशनल में तो उसका होगा नहीं, आई थिंक कुछ, बिकॉज शी इज नॉट कम्पीटेड मच.
बट व्हाट इफ द रैंकिंग्स आर रिफ्रेश्ड नाउ फॉर दिस ईयर? क्या सिस्टम है नहीं पता ना.
नहीं नहीं, वो तो ठीक है.
Let's say
रैंकिंग्स देखा था
the
मैंने.
international ranking gets refreshed this year and she's the only one
नहीं नहीं, वो
who.
ऐसे नहीं था. मतलब वॉट एवर द रैंकिंग्स था वो कुछ, आई मीन देर आर मल्टीपल रैंकिंग्स रनिंग आउट, बट इट वाज नॉट जस्ट दिस ईयर्स रैंकिंग्स. इतना
Hmm.
एटलीस्ट मुझे याद आता है. सो उस हिसाब से आई थिंक इट वाज द टॉप थ्री इन ओलंपिक क्वालिफिकेशन रैंकिंग. इट वाज नॉट दिस ईयर का वर्ल्ड रैंकिंग और व्हाटएवर. So,
Hmm.
yeah, she will have to be top three of domestic ranking, I think, to make
Hmm.
it.
So that's the 10-meter air rifle
राइका, बाय द
women.
वे, तुझे पता है ना कि इशू क्या हुआ था, कि तुझे पता नहीं है?
क्या हुआ था?
मतलब apparently she had some major injury, and वो
Yeah,
कविता बता रही थी मुझे, मैंने भी नहीं देखा.
back injury or something, no?
नहीं नहीं, कविता बता रही थी it was some sort of weird injury where she was like sleeping 20 hours a day or something like that, and she couldn't stand, or मतलब she went through a lot. मतलब it wasn't like मतलब वो not like a bone टूटा or this or whatever, some sort of other illness type of thing which she was struggling with.
Hmm.
Even I don't know, it was just Kavita telling me कि
Yeah.
उसने कहीं पढ़ा था.
Okay.
And it lasted a long time.
Hmm.
So it was more illness than injury, let's put it that way.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's see if she is there. They also keep on bringing up some new amendments, right? I just saw this morning there was a
अच्छा.
new amendment. मैंने चेक नहीं किया क्या एग्जैक्टली था. बट पता नहीं मतलब if she'll make the team or not. 10-meter एयर राइफल की अगर बात करें, आई थिंक वहाँ पे as such nothing changes. Still those familiar names,
5-6
women with
names जो
those
हैं.
5-6 names, right? Those are there. हाँ, 10-meter air pistol.
Women, men.
Can you guess who is at the top of the list right now in 10-meter air pistol men? National rankings में.
अब तू गैस करने को बोल रहा है तो
छोड़ दे, नहीं कर पाएगा. आई एम टेलिंग यू द नेम. आदित्य मलरा. Now my next question is, have you even heard of him?
I think I saw him in one World Cup, but yeah, I'm not sure.
Aditya Malra.
ऐसे एक आधा कोई ऐसा सिमिलर वियर्ड नेम देखा था मैंने, मे बी इन द रीसेंट 10 मीटर वर्ल्ड कप, बट या आई एम
Okay,
नॉट श्योर.
I don't remember that,
हाँ.
but he's topping the list right now. Sarabjot is languishing at ninth or 10th position.
ये एक्चुअली कैन आई जस्ट आस्क, इज इट अ बिट ऑफ अ पैटर्न जो मुझे लग रहा है कि द कोटा विनर, ओके, maybe they have cooled off on the domestic trials, जिसके वजह से their domestic rankings are going down, because they know कि final Olympic trial में तो हमको मिल ही जाएगा. so
Could
maybe
be,
so maybe
could be
yeah,
the case.
they are not that focused on the domestic trial, or maybe they're trying different
Yeah,
things, because
exactly. Rather
Binda,
than
हाँ
getting cooled off, I would say maybe they are trying and changing
हाँ,
different
different things,
things,
trying
techniques.
new, हाँ exactly.
Could be
because
a possibility.
Binda was one of the main proponents of this thing, right? He always used to say कि it's like World Cup doesn't matter, World Cup का मेरा बस एम है कि क्वालिफाई हो जाओ, क्वालिफाई होने के बाद मुझे बस ट्रेन करने दो, एंड देन आई विल शो एट द ओलंपिक्स व्हाट आई एम. So
Hmm.
he was always like not somebody, who believed in competition readiness, or जो हम लोग बोलते हैं ना कि match practice is nothing like training or whatever, but he always believed in the opposite. Okay, once I've qualified, let me just train in peace, which is where the entire original NRI policy came about, where we
Hmm.
used to announce the team in Jan, Feb, and then let just the shooters train.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I
that
don't.
theory does make a lot of logical sense. तो हो सकता है, quite a big possibility there also. Pattern wise भी देखेगा ही ना, almost every quota winner is not doing that great right now.
हाँ, so मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ
That is
कि
also there.
हाँ, तो इसीलिए मैं पूछा कि इज देयर अ पैटर्न दैट वे कि मे बी द कोटा विनर्स आर लाइक दे डोंट केयर मच अबाउट द ट्रायल्स, दे आर लाइक मेरे को
Hmm.
ओलंपिक ट्रायल तो मिलेंगे, हम वहां देखेंगे, एंड द अदर्स आर ऑब्वियसली फाइटिंग फॉर दोस डोमेस्टिक रैंकिंग स्पॉट्स.
Yeah, yeah. हाँ, could be, could be. So yeah,
By by the way,
nothing.
Vasant is saying two new guys not participated in any international. You're saying about Aditya Malla or somebody else?
Yeah, I guess he's talking about that only, Aditya only.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
उसके अलावा कोटास वोटास भी आने वाले हैं राइट अभी, मतलब द नेक्स्ट कोटा इवेंट्स आल्सो कमिंग अप.
हाँ, अप्रैल में there's a world qualifier. वहाँ पे पिस्टल एयर राइफल में 10 मीटर एयर
या राइफल
पिस्टल
पिस्टल का
women is one
राइफल
quota which
पिस्टल
is
का
there.
11 अप्रैल को है. शॉटगन का है, शॉटगन का 22 अप्रैल को है, तो दोनों अप्रैल में ही है.
शॉटगन में ही चांसेस हैं, मतलब एक दो आने के, अगर आ सकते हैं तो.
राइफल पिस्टल में बचा हुआ है ना एक आधा.
हाँ, विमेन्स पिस्टल बचे हैं ना,
हाँ,
10 मीटर है.
एक ही बचा है ना शायद.
एक ही बचा.
सो या, दैट कैन आल्सो डेफिनेटली कम.
या या
बट या ठीक है,
बट
देखते हैं.
या
शूट
अब the
शूटिंग का मे बी.
real picture starts with the Olympic trials.
हाँ, शूटिंग का मे बी वी शुड डू समथिंग. देखेंगे अगर अपने को टाइम मिलेगा तो.
हाँ, so
हम्म.
we'll talk about it either
हम्म.
before the Olympic trials when the list
हम्म.
is out कि कौन-कौन shooters are actually participating.
हम्म.
Maybe we'll do
सम
it
सॉर्ट
after
ऑफ
that.
एनालिसिस, हाँ, समथिंग.
Yeah,
देखते हैं.
yeah.
ठीक है,
ठीक है, cool.
चलो आगे कहाँ
शूटिंग से
जाना है.
आर्चरी थोड़ी सी डेवलपमेंट हुई है वहाँ पे with दीपिका कुमारी coming back to the fold.
Yeah, the main one is the Asia Cup, right? Do you have some particular information about trials or something?
I just know that Deepika won that Asia Cup, right?
हाँ,
She won the gold there, and the reason she made it to the team was because she topped the topped
trials.
both the trials,
Yeah,
which were there to decide the team for Asia Cup.
yeah.
ठीक है. So that is there, and so that is a big deal because जो वर्ल्ड क्वालिफायर होने वाला है मई या जून में, आई थिंक उसमें
हाँ,
देर आर 4 quotas फॉर टीम्स, राइट? 3 or 4 quotas
वुमेन में 4 है शायद.
आ रहे हैं. सो आई थिंक दीपिका कमिंग बैक टू द टीम adds on to it, adds on to our chances of getting qualifying as a team. That is one thing. Individual basis पे she can qualify. And I think right now also in March also they were supposed to hold trials for next tournament. So अभी trials चल रहे होंगे.
Yeah, so basically archery में obviously एक तो Asia Cup था where we won a lot of golds, and honestly that Asia Cup was more like a domestic trial for India only.
Hmm.
Uh, there
Nobody else participated.
there
Yeah.
really was nobody else at all over there. Okay, I think Iran and Kazakhstan were maybe like the some of the top nations. वो भी कुछ कुछ में participate किए, like
Hmm.
somebody participating only in recurve, somebody participating only in compound, और ऐसा सब चल रहा था. So a lot of people in fact even said कि why are we participating at all? And one of the big reasons, at least for recurve, which made sense was कि it did offer ranking points, and world ranking के base पे भी there are a couple of teams qualifying in the end.
Quotas.
So उस हिसाब से it made sense, and yeah, we did well at the Asia Cup. मतलब I think एक आधा कुछ गोल्ड नहीं मिला था maybe, but otherwise we swept it. We missed out on 1 or 2 goals, and yeah, Deepika coming back is great. Obviously, it remains to be seen how it will go. I think the World Cup season basically starts now. So जितना मैं देख रहा हूँ, there is an Asia Cup again on 24th March. I don't know what's happening there. But उसके अलावा the World Cup किधर गया? Actually, World Cup. Let me just see. I think the World Cup season essentially starts in April. I
Hmm.
can see a World Cup on 23rd April. I don't know if there's something before that as well. But yeah, I can't see anything before that. So 23rd April को archery World Cup starts, and yeah, usually the way archery works is के ट्रायल वायल हम पहले कर लेंगे एंड वील डिसाइड कि ओके दिस इज आवर फर्स्ट टीम, दिस इज आवर सेकंड टीम। हमारी फर्स्ट टीम ये वर्ल्ड कप में जाएगी, हमारी सेकंड टीम ये वर्ल्ड कप में जाएगी, और फिर हमारी फर्स्ट टीम क्वालिफायर में जाएगी। Normally, that's how they do. I don't know if they're going to have even further World Cups or even further trials or consider results of World Cups before deciding the final qualifier team.
Yeah. Nareshji Singh, Tarundeep shot 693 in Olympic trials.
हाँ ठीक है, 693 is good, but 693 on 720 है वो, 693 on 700 नहीं है. It's not
Mm-hmm.
that amazing or anything. It's a decent
Yeah,
score,
it's
a good
like
score.
better than decent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good score, but it's not like something to get riled up around.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Normally, the topper, the Koreans usually shoot around 700,
Mm.
701, 702, somewhere there.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, archery में I don't know anything else if any significant development other than this
Hmm.
that is there. Um, yeah.
रेसलिंग इज द
What
बिग
else?
वन जो, हाँ रेसलिंग इज द बिग वन जो बचा है, उसके पहले छोटी मोटी चीजें कंप्लीट करनी है तो सोच लो। एथलेटिक्स में है तेरे
Do
पास कुछ?
you? हाँ मैं एथलेटिक्स पे ही आ रहा था कि आई थिंक एथलेटिक्स में एज सच कुछ नहीं है। सबसे पहले तो वर्ल्ड इंडोर्स में वी जस्ट हैड अ कपल ऑफ एथलीट्स, दोनों से ही कुछ भी होप्स नहीं थी। हाँ बोल बोल।
नहीं, आई वाज आस्किंग एशियन इंडोर भी था ना उसके पहले, वो शिफ्ट हो रहा था, समथिंग हैपेंड, आई डोंट नो क्या हुआ।
आई डोंट इवन रिमेम्बर फॉलोइंग दैट। एशियन इंडोर हुआ था, यस एशियन इंडोर हुआ था एंड वी पार्टिसिपेटेड आल्सो, बट मुझे ऑनेस्टली याद ही नहीं
याद
कि
नहीं
क्या
है
हुआ
क्या
था।
हुआ।
क्विकली चेक कर लेते हैं एक बारी।
हाँ
आई
बिकॉज
रिमेम्बर
उसकी
वर्ल्ड
उसकी
इंडोर
डेट्स भी
में
आई
तो
थिंक शिफ्ट हो रही थी, एक दो बार शिफ्ट हुई थी शायद, ऐसा मैंने कहीं देखा था।
हाँ मतलब हुआ था, आई थिंक ईरान में या इराक में कहीं था। उतना मेरे को याद है बट नथिंग सिग्निफिकेंट केम आउट। आई रिमेम्बर ज्योति पार्टिसिपेटिंग इन 60 मीटर हर्डल्स देयर।
हाँ,
वी
सम्राट इज
हैड
सेइंग के ज्योति यादव जी वन एशियन इंडोर।
या बट वही है मतलब मेजॉरिटी ऑफ आर एथलीट्स हुएवर पार्टिसिपेटेड they considered it as a warm up event to eventually get to the outdoor season, राइट। यूजुअली इंडोर को उसी तरीके से ही सारे कंसीडर करते हैं। कुछ एज सच सिग्निफिकेंट नहीं निकल के आया था। वर्ल्ड इंडोर में वी जस्ट हैड टू, आई थिंक प्रवीण वाज देयर एंड जैस्मिन वाज देयर। होप्स एक्सपेक्टेशन एज सच कुछ थी भी नहीं एंड नथिंग सिग्निफिकेंट फ्रॉम दैट साइड आल्सो। काफी अंडरवेलमिंग परफॉर्मेंस ही थी दोनों की, टू बी ऑनेस्ट। Uh, more than these two stories, I think I would rather say something that is worth talking about is I don't know if you happen to read Jonathan's article on Parvez Khan. Usually it is Parvez, but his spelling writes as Parvez.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know if I read the article itself, but he did come on my radar, Parvez Khan.
yeah, yeah. So the thing about him is obviously it is very, very early days for him.
Hmm.
It's not that his performance is also near to the world class
Yeah,
level.
मेरे लिए it's one of those things which I said even earlier, right? कि I get excited when you do well in seniors, not in like juniors and colleges and stuff. So,
NCAA is seniors only,
हाँ
ठीक
नहीं
है?
नहीं, I get it,
You,
but it's
you
like,
you get ranking points for Olympic qualification, and
yeah,
NCAA is a pretty high level tournament.
yeah,
Let
I understand,
let me
understand that.
complete. I'll tell you why I am excited. I'm
अच्छा.
not excited for his Olympic prospects or he could be a world beater or stuff.
Hmm.
ठीक है, one part is there is a nice story around him coming from the backward area that he's from, the community that he's from, and he's made it to Florida University.
Mhm.
So that is of course a big thing.
Mhm.
Second thing is what gets me excited is Americans are excited about him, right? So there is
Yeah.
a bit of hype getting created, and I keep on telling you, right? I met so many fans in Budapest. Whenever I used to speak to them about Indian track and field, everyone had this as the first reaction that hey, Indian field events are coming up. There are horizontal jumpers, there is Neeraj, of course. So India is doing pretty well in field. That is how they are starting to talk about India.
Mhm.
Perhaps this is the first time there is someone who can get India notice in terms of track event also.
Okay.
It's not going to come from any other event, right? Let's just say that, because there is no other event. Maybe a 400-meter relay that
Mm-hmm.
also made people talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that ways, if Americans, and America is a huge market in terms of track and field. The coaches there are always scouting for athletes to train under them. They get to know that, okay, they already know India is a pretty hotbed for talent. So that way it trickles down into that momentum, right? That, okay, there is a big name now who is making waves on track also, who's an Indian athlete. So just adds on to that hype around Indian track and field. Just purely that. Obviously, he has a long way to go to become a world class athlete. But if there are a bunch of coaches sitting on athletics forum talking about his potential, that he can be a huge star, not just from hype standpoint, but from performance standpoint also. So you have to kind of believe them, right?
Yeah, so take it. I agree with that. The hype has definitely been created by the Americans. That I will for sure agree. It's the
Purely by them.
it's the Americans creating the hype and not the Indians. And yeah, take it. The story about come from humble backgrounds and get to Florida and all that is great. Just from a cynical standpoint, my only concern was yes, the Americans are creating a lot of hype, but their hype is often also based on how young he is. Okay, so if it's like if he can do this at this age, what will he be do when he at a later age? And that's where my cynicism comes. Is the age real? So वो एक
I
क्वेश्चन आ जाता
That's a
है.
fair argument.
एंड और ये अमेरिकन रियलाइज नहीं करेंगे कि हम लोग
नहीं,
का
but
कितना एज
उसी
इशू
में
होता
I
है.
was reading through the forums, and they said, like, there were a couple of people who seemed very well read, and had intellectual bent of mind when it comes to athletics. They were discussing, let's say, even if he is 23, 24, still
ऑफिशियली
it does
कितना है?
18, 19, 20 होगा ना. He's in
आई
his
डोंट नो.
what, फर्स्ट ईयर में ही है ना अभी. व्हाट डू दे
हाँ,
कॉल,
फर्स्ट ईयर नॉर्मली
सोफोमोर
18
बोलते
के
हैं, क्या
आसपास ही है.
बोलते हैं?
सॉफ्टमोर इज सेकंड ईयर, फर्स्ट ईयर इज
सेकंड
फ्रेशमैन.
ईयर, फ्रेशमैन, यस. तो ही इज इन हिज फ्रेशमैन ईयर. तो कितना, 18 19 ही होना
18
चाहिए.
19 होना चाहिए.
हाँ,
लेकिन ठीक
ऑन
है,
पेपर्स.
यूनिवर्सिटी लोग कभी कभी लेट भी जाते हैं, तो आई डोंट नो ऑफिशियल
हाँ,
एज
वही
क्या है.
वही वही. बट वो, they were discussing this aspect also. Even if he's 23, 24, let's say, it does not matter that much in the event that he participates. There are people who are peaking at 30, 32 also in 15 meters, so that's fine.
ठीक है नहीं. एंड 1500 meters इज द प्राइमरी इवेंट, राइट? क्योंकि हाइप तो भी ज्यादा माइल पे आया था, राइट? ही रैन द माइल
It's the
रिसेंटली.
same thing, same thing. They generally tend to talk about mile. It's their own thing, Americans. तो वो mile हमेशा करते रहते हैं. So eventually, from a
या माइल
Olympics
से
POV
1500 पे
तो
ही आएगा.
correct correct. पता नहीं डायरेक्टली क्वालिफाई करेगा या नहीं. That is still थोड़ा सा beyond his reach as of now. But he might get good ranking points along the way, and somehow get to Paris.
या लेट्स सी व्हाट हैपेंस. मतलब मेरा एज आई सेड, मेरा जब सडनली ऐसा कुछ होता है तो आई एम जनरली अ लिटिल मोर सिनिकल, बट लेट्स सी.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
चलो, और क्या बचा है?
Wrestling. What
रेसलिंग
else?
इज द बड़ा बचा है. उसके अलावा क्रिकेट एंड चेस बचा है, जो मैं एंड में थोड़ा बोल दूंगा और तू रोएगा एज यूजुअल.
अभी बोल रहे ना. लेट्स एंड इट विद रेसलिंग देन.
ठीक है.
क्या बोलना है तेरे को? जस्ट गो ऑन.
ठीक है. सो क्रिकेट में ऑब्वियसली आई रिमेंबर लास्ट टीम हुई थी, आई वाज वेरी डिसअपॉइंटेड कि पहला मैच हारे थे. उसके बाद से इंडिया ने पूरा फोल डाला है. सो तूने कुछ भी देखा? कुछ नहीं. नथिंग.
देखा तो नहीं, बट या आई नो क्या हुआ एग्जैक्टली.
सो इंडिया ने जो बेसबॉल का बंटा बजाया है, मतलब मुझे एटलीस्ट बहुत मजा आया. एंड आई नो मुझे वेबर ज्यादा बोलने नहीं देगा, बट ठीक है.
बेसबॉल है क्या?
क्या?
इंग्लैंड themselves seem to have forgotten कि बेसबॉल की
अरे
एग्जैक्टली
बेसबॉल तो
डेफिनेशन थी.
इट्स अ जोक यार, इट्स अ मीम एट दिस पॉइंट, इट्स नथिंग मोर. ओके.
हम्म.
एंड ठीक है, इंग्लैंड बोलेगा, मैकलम बोलता है कि यार मैंने तो बेसबॉल टर्म इन्वेंट नहीं किया, तुम लोग ने इन्वेंट किया और तुम लोग सारे चालू हो गए, मैं क्या करूं उसका. बेसबॉल अभी तो इट हैड बिकम समथिंग के एवरीथिंग इज बेसबॉल. ओके, कि नहीं मानना इज
They
नॉट
just need to
बेसबॉल.
justify this is baseball, that is baseball.
नहीं नहीं मतलब it had become everything is baseball कि if a this captain is making changes after every ball, that is baseball. If है ना हमें we are not letting our shoulders drop and we are fighting till the last moment, that is baseball. अगर baseball is not always hitting, हम कभी मारेंगे, हम कभी सोचेंगे, कभी हमें ना सिचुएशन देख के खेलेंगे, that is also baseball. सब कुछ baseball हो गया था. It had basically become a meme at this point. बट ठीक है, वो जो भी था, इंडिया ने बजा डाला अच्छी तरह से, जो मजा आया देखने में. एंड ऑनेस्टली लॉट ऑफ पीपल सेड कि मे बी 4-1 इज अ फेयर रिफ्लेक्शन और इंग्लैंड प्लेड बेटर देन 4-1 और व्हाटएवर. आई थॉट इट शुड हैव बीन फाइनल. I thought India were very unlucky in that first test match. Pope was very lucky, and India was very unlucky to get out for that 200 all out as well. Every fall shot resulted in a wicket. Otherwise वो 230 भी चेज होना चाहिए था, and it should have been final. But ठीक है, whatever. तो 4-1 में मजा आया. That's all I'll say. WPL चल रहा है. WPL अगर तूने देखा नहीं हो तो वुमेन का लेवल यू फेल्ट एक्सेप्ट फॉर द फील्डिंग काफी बढ़िया है. आई जस्ट से दैट कि मतलब मैंने भी देखा नहीं WPL ज्यादा. आई जस्ट कीप हियरिंग बट देयर वर लॉट ऑफ बिग शॉट्स एंड इंडियंस आर इट फेल्ट लाइक
तेरा
इंडियन प्ले.
इसमें भी कुछ फंडा होगा ना, दैट यू आर नॉट वेरी
नहीं
pro
इट्स
league as in you're not very in favor of watching leagues or something,
नहीं नहीं सो
right?
इट्स नहीं सो इट्स नॉट अ आइडियोलॉजिकल फंडा और कॉन्सेप्चुअल फंडा और एनीथिंग. इट्स अ सिंपल फंडा कि मेरे को देखने में उतना मजा नहीं आता है. आई जस्ट फाइंड इट
So
मच मोर फन when India
essentially
is
that
playing.
only.
नहीं but it is one of those things which is not moral, right? I don't have a moral thing against leagues. There are a lot of people
Yeah.
who have a moral thing against IPL
अच्छा
or
देशभक्त है कपिल तू.
हाँ. नहीं तो मतलब मेरा पॉइंट वही है. स्पोर्ट्स इज ऑलवेज अबाउट दैट, राइट? यू वॉच व्हाट यू वांट, व्हाट यू लाइक. इट इज वॉचिंग स्पोर्ट्स इज नॉट सोशल सर्विस. जिसमें मजा आता है तू देख. तेरे को लिवरपूल में मजा आता है तू देख. मेरे को नहीं समझ में आता है कि लिवरपूल लोग इतना क्यों देखते हैं. मैं नहीं देखता. दैट्स ओके. सेम थिंग इज वैलिड हियर. तो जनरली आईपीएल डब्ल्यूपीएल में भी ये होता है कि लास्ट 5 ओवर मुझे दिखा दो, आई एम गुड. पहले 35 ओवर में आई एम लाइक यार गेट टू द लास्ट 5 ओवर्स. आई डोंट हैव अ इमोशनल इन्वेस्टमेंट इन इट. सो गेट मी टू द लास्ट 5 ओवर्स. बट ठीक है. सो एनीवे, सो क्रिकेट में दैट वाज देयर. एंड चेस में ऑफ कोर्स ह्यूज थिंग हैपनिंग जो तुझे पता ही नहीं है, विच इज लाइक कैंडिडेट्स इज स्टार्टिंग नेक्स्ट मंथ. सो along
And
with
we have
all the
four of
five
chess players
five five
participating. Five, okay.
3 men, 2 women. So candidate starts at the beginning of next month, and along with a host of Olympic qualifiers. मतलब I am just seeing my schedule and there are like good 7-8 Olympic qualifiers here. 6-7 Olympic qualifiers मुझे दिख रहे हैं right of the bat. That includes like things like sailing and rowing as well. But I can see like 6-7 Olympic qualifiers. Plus there's a candidates जो रात को होगा Toronto time. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there.
वैभव सोनी बोल रहे कपिल should hype वैभव up for the candidates. Well,
यार मैं कितना ट्राई
I
कर
hope.
वैभव यू वांट टू हाइप योर नेम सेक.
No,
मैं
but
इतना ट्राई कर
I
चुका हूँ.
think he might have hyped up you among others. तो एक वैभव को कर दिया वही काफी
हाँ
है.
वो नहीं सुनता है यार वो. अब तुम लोग को मालूम नहीं ऑफ ऑफ स्ट्रीम वो मेरी कितनी
कपिल,
बनाता है कि तू
I
क्यों
wish
चेस नहीं
I
करता.
had as much as time you have. मेरे को अगर होता तो मैं चेस से पहले और बाकी के स्पोर्ट्स देखता जो मैं नहीं देख पाता. Chess
तेरे को
is
टाइम
like
कम चाहिए, मैं कम
towards
टाइम में भी चेस
the.
दिखा दूंगा देखना हो तो. कम टाइम में भी देखने के बहुत
अच्छा,
तरीके हैं.
ठीक है.
ठीक है. बट एनीवेज, so candidates is coming up and obviously we also did have a couple of big events. You had that Armageddon chess where Gukesh as usual went up and down, ended up like sixth. And then you had track chess. वहाँ पे Vidit was unfortunately Vidit का यार गलत टाइम पे बैड फॉर्म आया है. Hopefully he can recover. Prag is still doing okay even though he lost a couple of games. Prag का by the way पता है there was like a 40-45 game unbeaten streak going on which got broken unfortunately.
Okay.
But ठीक है.
Any realistic chance of them, either of them winning?
Yeah. See, chess is that one thing ना, इसमें थोड़ा वो unpredictability रहता ही है because on a given day anybody can beat anybody, especially within these players. Okay, so ठीक है. You 400-500 पॉइंट का डिफरेंस है तो बात अलग है. बट अदर देन दैट विद इन अ कपल ऑफ 100 पॉइंट्स anybody can beat anybody on the day. और candidates में the way chess works is it's very different because you have an insane level of preparation. So ये लोग
Hmm.
पहले से प्रिपेयर करके आते हैं कि I'm gonna play this move, I'm gonna play this move. And that is a level of preparation you will not see in any other event other than candidates and the world championship. तो वहां पे पूरा चेंज हो जाता है. सो या एनीथिंग कैन हैपन. आई मीन इफ आउट ऑफ द थ्री आई हैव टू पिक लाइक फॉर द मेन, if out of the three I have to pick like one who probably has the best chance, I will go with Prag slightly over Gukesh. Only reason
Or
because
you mean from among Indian chess
among
players
Indians,
or
maybe
overall?
among Indians, among
But
Indians.
overall,
Overall, I think favorite at the moment is Fabiano Caruana.
not Nakamura.
नहीं नहीं, नाकामुरा का उल्टा है, पता है. नाकामुरा का लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता है, बिकॉज फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल तो ही स्पेंड सो मच टाइम ऑन स्ट्रीमिंग. ओके, ही कॉल्स हिमसेल्फ अ हॉबी चेस प्लेयर, फिर भी आके वो फोड़ देता है. एंड नाकामुरा का क्या है ना, इस बार तो मैंने एक कमेंट देखा था विच कुड वेरी वेल बी जस्ट अ लाई, बट मैंने जो कमेंट देखा था, ही वाज लाइक previous candidates में I prepared a lot and I didn't win. So this candidates में I'm not gonna prepare much. I'm just gonna take it as it comes, which
Hmm.
generally should not work. But yeah, you don't know. But yeah, if I have to pick a
Actually,
favorite,
in one of the interviews, Anand was asked who is the favorite. So he said Nakamura.
Nakamura. Okay, yeah, that's his opinion. That's perfectly fine. I will pick the most safer choice. Agar if I have to pick a favorite, which is Kadwana basically had the year of his life last year essentially. Last year he was dominating pretty much everywhere. So that is there. और फिर अभी प्राग में ठीक है, मतलब प्राग लॉस्ट हिज स्ट्रीक बट ही स्टिल एंडेड अप लाइक सेकंड और समथिंग. एंड गुकेश का तो पूरा अप एंड डाउन है यार. गुकेश का नहीं समझ में आता है मुझे. वो कभी भी जीत जाता है, कभी भी हार जाता है, उसका कुछ नहीं समझ में आता है. एंड विदित का वो hopefully he should be able to recover. It should happen. And by the way, a lot of these chess players also said, including Karwana, okay, if you look at the history, okay, you can't predict candidates based on previous tournaments. तो इट्स लाइक ही सेड मेरा भी देख लो यार. इट्स नॉट लाइक कि मैंने जनवरी में जीता और फिर कैंडिडेट्स हार गया. मतलब ही इज गिवन एग्जांपल कि आई did very well in January in Vike, then I didn't do well in candidates. I didn't do well in this tournament before candidates, but then I won candidates. So वो कोरिलेशन बैठता नहीं है बिकॉज ऑफ दैट प्रेपरेशन एंगल. और वो प्रेपरेशन में होता ये भी है कि बिकॉज यू आर सिटिंग ऑन प्रेपरेशन, यू आर नॉट प्लेइंग योर बेस्ट मूव्स इन दी अदर टूर्नामेंट्स बिकॉज यू डोंट वांट टू शो योर प्रेपरेशन. सो द अदर प्लेयर्स सॉर्ट ऑफ हैव एन एडवांटेज. जैसे वो नॉर्देबेक अब्दू सत्तारोव है, वो वर्ल्ड नंबर 5 पहुंच गया है, बट ही इज नॉट इन कैंडिडेट्स. So he's basically told through the previous couple of tournaments. And but yeah, he doesn't have the pressure of candidates, so he can play his best moves. Other players are maybe saving up their prep for candidates, so you don't know. But yeah, candidates, last time मैंने candidates देखा था, Anand was playing way back in I think 2014. I think I used to watch candidates. 2014 के बाद इंडिया का कोई क्वालिफाई नहीं हुआ कैंडिडेट्स में. So it's so this is like the 10 साल के बाद पहली बार कैंडिडेट्स आ रहा है. एंड आई रियली वांट टू वॉच. ओनली प्रॉब्लम है इसके साला वो कनाडा का इशू है, मेरे को अपना यूएस टाइम जोन पे आना पड़ेगा. बट देखते हैं. सो या आई
ठीक
जस्ट
है.
वांटेड टू से आई एम रियली एक्साइटेड अबाउट दैट. और तू कितना भी रोएगा जब भी अगली स्ट्रीम हो रही है, थोड़ा तो कैंडिडेट डिस्कशन हो रहा है.
नहीं तू पूरा कर लेना. I don't mind at all. You have a proper dedicated
नहीं
streaming
नहीं
on candidates.
नहीं नहीं, उतना ठीक है.
I'll be there. I'm not kidding. I'll be full supporting you, but तू करना.
ठीक है
And
चल.
then फिर अगली 4 स्ट्रीम में just don't mention chess, okay?
Vaibhav Soni saying, by the way, Vaibhav just casually name dropping Nakamura to show off his chess knowledge.
Yeah, that might have sounded like that, but Vaibhav, in my defense, I actually heard Anand, you know, spell out his name.
और फिर मेरे से इतना बात करता है तो थोड़े बहुत नाम तो समझ में आ जाएंगे ना, राइट? थोड़े बहुत नाम तो सुनने पड़ेंगे.
Yeah.
चल ठीक है, तो आई हैव टॉक्ड क्रिकेट एंड चेस. लेट्स एंड विद
Sandeep,
रेसलिंग.
don't get started on that. Hell will break loose here. So let's just move on.
सो या, सो बोलो रेसलिंग.
Wrestling तो
वेट
क्या?
लिफ्टिंग, पीपल इज आस्किंग. वेट लिफ्टिंग का कोई एशियन चैंपियनशिप होता, बट आई डोंट थिंक एनीबॉडी वेंट, राइट? सो
Hmm.
मेरे को आई डोंट इवन नो द रिजल्ट्स. नोबडी
I think
रियली
they
वेंट.
weighed in, but they did not participate.
हाँ
ऐसा
वही,
कुछ हुआ
ऐसा
था.
कुछ हुआ था. मतलब आई थिंक मे बी कपल ऑफ लोअर गाइज पार्टिसिपेटेड. But
Hmm.
but anyways, weightlifting right now, though, it's pretty much been reduced to Mirabai, right? I don't know. There is much more beyond that.
Yeah.
ठीक है चल, रेसलिंग बोल.
रेसलिंग में पहले तो फ्री स्टाइल से ही स्टार्ट करते हैं. मेंस फ्री स्टाइल
ठीक
ऑब्वियसली
है,
सबसे पहले तो पहले दिन ही धमाके वहां हुए थे.
फुल
The
धमाके में.
biggest of them being Bajrang losing out early in the rounds.
I'll say even Ravi was a bigger one. maybe then
It
उस
was
बार
somewhat on the expected line. मतलब ठीक है, अमित से हारना was थोड़ा सा 50-50 था.
दैट्स
Nobody
ओके
knew
हाँ
how it will pan out.
उदित के सामने हाँ
Maybe that bout in itself ended up exhausting him so much that वो
हो
अगले
सकता
उसमें
है
भी कर नहीं पाया. And it's not like उसका क्या नाम था जिससे हारा वो रवि, the next match?
उदित
Udit. Udit also has a pretty strong junior pedigree, right? मतलब he's done fairly well in junior, I
yeah but
think. From
you
what
wouldn't
I
expect
remember
him to
reading.
you wouldn't expect him to go
Yeah,
down
yeah.
and by the way
That's there.
and the scoreboard math also doesn't match up ना वो तूने देखा कि it's like Amit defeated Ravi like 14-13 Udit defeated Ravi like 10-8 but then Amit teched Udit so that scoreboard math doesn't add up
It
which you are saying कि
necessarily does not
हाँ
add up
yeah
in
yeah
wrestling. मतलब it doesn't work like that कि 14-13 अगर है तो एक you know 14-13 maybe there could be a possibility that one wrestler dominated the other.
हाँ yeah I agree with that but मैं वही बोल रहा हूँ कि जो तू point बोल रहा है ना about the fatigue that if you look at the scoreboards it might be a reason
Yeah. Yeah, that was surprising. रवि का एशियन चैंपियनशिप में अगर होता it would have been better.
Hmm.
तो थोड़ा सा और मतलब there would have been more bouts under his belt. तो वो प्रैक्टिस मिल जाती, उसका थोड़ा सा लेवल और इम्प्रूव होता दिख जाता.
But
होपफुली
but
एशियन
but I
चैंपियनशिप
but I am
में.
not sure वो एशियन में जाता भी हाँ if he would have come second
Why not?
because Ravi ka that weight cut is always a problem. He doesn't like cutting to 57 unless he really
Yeah,
has
but
to.
yeah, but that would have been a very important tournament for him, right? And it's not like he does not participate in continentals and worlds. एशियन
Mm,
चैंपियनशिप में तो हमेशा 57 में गया है. इवन इन दोज एशियन चैंपियनशिप वेयर इट वाजंट दैट इम्पोर्टेंट, इसमें तो इट वुड हैव बीन
but एशियन
हाईली
में
इम्पोर्टेंट फॉर हिम टू
but एशियन में
प्रूव हिज
usually
पॉइंट.
61 में गया है ना एशियन में भी 57 में गया है
दैट 57 में ही आई थिंक ही हैज 2 or 3 एशियन चैंपियनशिप.
ठीक है maybe he
One of
might have
which
got
was in Delhi, and I remember seeing उसने Japanese used to be Takahashi or some उस पर आया था
इस बार
फाइनल.
वो ट्रायल किया भी थोड़ा अलग ना आई मीन नॉर्मली इन सच केसेस what you have is you'll have like the Olympic trials Olympic category trials and then you'll have the non-Olympic category trials the next day so that the ones who participated in the Olympic categories can also participate in that which is like for example 53-55 is like very close right just as an example or 57-59 so 53 में जो लड़कियां हार गई they can compete in 55 the next day but this time they did everything together only and जिसके वजह से maybe our non-Olympic team might be pretty weak at the Asian Championships because the all the best girls are competing in the Olympic ones girls as well as guys
ठीक है, that is the least of the concern
हाँ
right
वो
now.
ठीक है yeah that's okay yeah I'm just
Yeah.
saying कि कितना कुछ change हुआ है wrestling में that's all I'm saying कि बहुत कुछ मतलब you know everything is up in the air वो discussion हुआ
Yeah.
ही है सारा
But ultimately, if you come to the final conclusion, it is Sujit and अमित क्यों नाम याद आ रहा है मेरे को.
रोहित
नो 57 guy.
हाँ अमन
Aman Sherawat.
हम्म
So ultimately, Aman and Sujit would be there representing India in 57-65, which is
right
somewhat expected lines पे कि if not Ravi and Bajrang,
then
then
who
these were the guys who were next in line.
हम्म।
So yeah,
और बात
कोटा
तो ये
आने
भी
के
चल रही
chances
कि
तो हैं.
and by the way बात ये भी चल रही in both in Asian qualifier and World qualifier they are apparently not gonna have another trial before
हाँ
World qualifier
हाँ, क्योंकि वो फिर अगेन बहुत ज्यादा हो जाएगा ना, कटिंग वेट अगेन फॉर वर्ल्ड क्वालिफायर्स अगेन.
हाँ मतलब वो
वो
that's always a trade off which you have to figure out
हाँ,
कि क्या करना है
ट्रायल के लिए भी फिर देन यू प्रिपेयर एंड देन
yeah
ऑल ऑफ
yeah
दोस.
हम्म
तो ठीक है. बाकी तो स्टेटस quo, दीपक विनिंग फेयरली वेल.
हम्म
आई थिंक ही शुड
125 में
आल्सो गेट
सुमित था
कोटा.
74 में चेंज हो गया 74 में लेकिन देन हमेशा ही चेंज होता रहता है
चेंज होता रहता है. हाँ,
कौन गया इस
74
बार
में भी ऐसा कुछ.
वो इवेंचुअली बात मेरे को याद भी नहीं
यश.
है नहीं आई डोंट थिंक
या
इट वाज
इवन आई
यश
कांट रिकॉल.
yeah because I think Naveen and Yash may be lost
नवीन लॉस्ट. आई रिमेम्बर
this I'm
नवीन लूजिंग
sure
टू यश.
if anybody remembers can you
बट
just tell in the chat 74 में कौन ज्यादा है maybe I'll just check
या फ्री स्टाइल में ग्रेको रोमन में भी आई डोंट फॉलो दैट मच, सो आई डोंट हैव एनी इनपुट्स देयर. फ्री स्टाइल में व्हाट एल्स. Yeah,
yeah
97 again. It's never been a strong category for us.
that new guy
Debbie.
came ना 97 में दीपक करके
Jaideep, someone is saying Naresh ji says Jaideep. I think that's in
या
74 only.
74 जयदीप एंड 97 में दीपक नेहरा केम इन, जिसका एक
Hmm.
दो बार नाम सुना है, बट या आई डोंट नो इफ ही इज गुड इनफ टू क्वालिफाई, बट या नाम सुना है उसका.
Yeah, but yeah, the major bombs dropped the next day with so much of facade over
मतलब
Vinesh.
bombs only in terms of needless controversy, otherwise the
Yeah,
bombs actually dropped on the first day in terms of results, second day तो सब expected था.
yeah. ये बचपन में वो सूतली बम फोड़ते थे ना, तो sometimes they
आवाज
never
ज्यादा
used to
आती है
get
बस.
never used to get burst. तो उनको
अच्छा.
फुस्सी बम बोलते थे. So it was on those lines only, and there were a bunch of selected few people who always are after
हाँ.
their own agenda. It's I don't know whatever agenda
अच्छा
is.
अच्छा, तो बिफोर यू गो टू वुमेन एक दो चीज मैं ले लेता हूँ चैट से. संदीप इज सेइंग आई डोंट थिंक रवि इज 100%. संदीप ऑब्वियसली ही इज जस्ट कम बैक फ्रॉम इंजरी एंड he is time bound. Prasanna is saying कि Ravi didn't end up in top four for now he's out of Olympics. प्रसन्ना ये बहुत कॉम्प्लिकेटेड है, इसमें अलग चीजें चल रही है. जो लेटेस्ट एक विनायक का आर्टिकल आया था, विनायक मोहनराज का, कि रवि बिकॉज ही गॉट एलिमिनेटेड इन द ग्रुप स्टेज ही शुड नॉट बी इन द टॉप फोर. But then the guys who were supposed to be third and fourth, they one of them didn't show up for their third place match, so they got eliminated. And at least in the official rankings, Ravi is right now number four. और वही
Yeah.
बजरंग in fact did not show up for the third place match, due to which official ranking में currently he is out of top four.
But in that, the both the guys did not show up. No, so
हाँ
it
तो
was a bronze playoff
हाँ तो
in Bajrang's case.
उसमें भी ऐसा किया है कि दे ranked विशाल higher than बजरंग because apparently विशाल at least was in the building, whereas बजरंग after his loss just took his car and went away.
Hmm.
So this is the
No, but
reason they gave.
for see,
हाँ.
even
हाँ.
despite all of that, talking about Ravi, the way things move in Indian wrestling, let's say he enters a ranking series tournament, he's coming back to his top form, he wins that ranking series tournament, considering his previous credentials, and let's say Aman, ठीक है, outrightly all the way he wins quota, then that might change a few things or he might get another result. But let's say अमन इतना ज़्यादा भी नहीं कर पाता and Ravi wins a ranking series, so there is some dynamics which can still change. I feel ऐसा
I
outrightly नहीं है कि Ravi is all gone.
I तो would say there are a lot of dynamics here. I mean, I
Hmm.
think यहाँ पे अभी कुछ भी हो सकता है. It changes on a daily basis. Nobody truly knows what's gonna happen. In that same article where they say कि okay, officially Ravi has been classified as fourth. In the जो result finally WFI slash ad hoc committee ने share किया, Ravi was classified as fourth whereas Bajrang was not. But उसमें भी चल रहा था कि ट्रायल में हम ओलंपिक मेडलिस्ट को तो बुला ही लेंगे, तो वो
हाँ
सब भी
वही ना,
हाँ वो सब भी
ओलंपिक
चल ही
में
रहा
भी.
था. इंडिया तो रैंकिंग सीरीज बोल रहा है, उसमें भी प्रॉब्लम हो सकती है कि दे शुड एटलीस्ट सेंड देयर नेम्स एंड hopefully at least they don't have a vendetta against Ravi. At least we all know they have a vendetta against Bajrang and Dinesh, but
Hmm.
maybe they don't have a vendetta
नहीं
against
है,
Ravi at least.
Ravi के against at least by the looks of it, it doesn't feel
Hmm.
that is the case.
Hmm. So yeah,
And
so
ranking series में फिर there is a flex of 2-3 kgs also, I think, right? Even if he participates in
I'm
57.
not sure on that.
Yeah, there is. I remember reading it a couple of times. So I think you 58 59 तक चल जाते हैं वहाँ पे, if I'm not wrong.
हाँ नहीं, बट वो उसमें तो होता ही है, जैसे अभी ट्रायल्स में तो अपेरेंटली फ्लेक्स होता ही है,
Hmm.
तो ट्रायल्स में भी वो फ्लेक्स था ही, बट ठीक है. सो the real bombs actually happened on the first day where Ravi and Bajrang at least right now are not going, and we'll see what happens in later. And इसमें obviously the thing which we forget in all this is कि ठीक है चलो you expect कि Aman should get the quota, but you don't know about Sujit. पता चलेगा कि कोटा मिला ही नहीं, all this discussion is moot at that point, क्योंकि
Yeah.
कोटा ही नहीं, अब तो फिर खत्म ही बात.
Hmm.
तो वो सब
हाँ,
भी है.
सबसे पहले तो वही है. Right.
तो पहले सबसे पहले कोटा चाहिए. एंड या ठीक है चलो, वुमेन में तो एक्चुअली कुछ सरप्राइज था नहीं, बट लोगों को बॉम्ब फोड़ने की पसंद है तो लोगों ने बॉम्ब फोड़े. बोलो.
Hmm. कुछ नहीं, सिंपल है वो. मेहुल, आई डोंट नो, ही इज देयर वाचिंग अस. ही डज ऑफन. सो मतलब I answered him, right? My main takeaway was that only nobody knows what the actual policy is going to be, especially in 53 kg. So from Vinicius' perspective, it is very simple that she's just doing whatever is possible. She's availing all those
Yeah,
options
yeah.
so as to be there on all the fronts. When it comes to that मतलब counter करने वाली opportunity जब आती है, she should be at least be eligible as per the
Current
initial
rules.
rules which
Let's say
are
current rules.
floating around, right? So that
Yeah,
is what she did. I don't see anything wrong in that. ठीक है वो बोल रहे हैं, you know, it was published that they are supposed to be following UWW rules, Wrestling International Wrestling Federation rules for trials also. That is what Vinayak was countering, right? Vinayak Padmadev. But ऐसे तो उस तरीके से देखा जाए तो there are other rules also being
yeah.
flaunted.
I mean, I can
Yeah.
give a long list of rules which were flouted. अगर तुम ये बोलो ना कि UWW rules should be followed, there's a long list of rules. How is Antim getting a direct buy into the final? UWW has clearly defined rules on how a competition needs to be conducted in case of, depending on the number of competitors. So, for example, if you have eight, then you have to have a knockout. If you
Yeah.
have six or seven, then you have to have two groups. If you have five, you have to have only one group. And buys ke liye bhi, if you're having seeding, then the seed should be placed here. They should get a single buy. If there's no seeding, then the buy should be placed here. ये सब थोड़ी फॉलो हुआ अंतिम को तो एसेंशियली वो दिया हुआ है बाय टू द फाइनल उसके अलावा तुम
And
और
that was also a last minute decision only. Na, she
वो
fell
तो
off
वापस चेंज हो गया वो
घर
तो
पे ही
वापस चेंज
and
हो
she
गया
got injured and stuff.
नहीं बट वो तो वापस चेंज हो गया अब बात चल रही है कि अंतिम ही सीधा एशियन चैंपियनशिप में जाएगी वो फाइनल क्वालिफायर होगा ही नहीं ये भी
Hmm.
चल रहा है उसके अलावा तुम और बोल लो यू कैन से अबाउट दिस वेट रिस्ट्रिक्शन ऑल्सो तू बोल रहा है रैंकिंग सीरीज में फ्लेक्स होता है बट आई डोंट थिंक होता है बट आई एम नॉट श्योर बट इफ यू आर सेइंग कि अगर यहाँ पे तो वी गिव 2 kg वेट अलाउंस इंटरनेशनल में तो अलाउंस होता नहीं है ओलंपिक्स में देयर इज नॉट गोना बी एनी अलाउंस 53 वाले नीड टू वे इन एट 55 50 वाले नीड टू वे इन एट 52 वो अलाउंस है दैट रूल इज नॉट फॉलोड इसमें तो
Chalo,
ऐसे 50
keeping
रूल बोल
all
दो
of
तो
this aside,
हाँ
thinking about, let's say, what is the best case scenario for India in this case is, I genuinely feel if somehow Vinesh can actually make it work in 50 kg. So we have seen enough of Antim in 53 kg. It's a tried and tested thing. Although Vinesh was also very good in 53, but that was before Tokyo. If somehow she can work it out in 50 kg, both Vinesh, Antim, we are sending in 50-53, nothing like that.
yeah so I'll just say one point to it which was pointed out to me was pointed out actually by John the one genuine issue with Vinesh in 50 is actually the weight issue only.
Hmm.
So first of all, okay, let's just give a history a little bit here. Okay, Vinesh earlier used to compete in 48, right? She has competed in 48 in Rio. If people remember, Rio ke pehle, there has been one instance when she has actually gone to an Olympic qualifier and she could not make weight, and India did not have participation in the Olympic qualifier in that one, in the first Olympic qualifier, first world qualifier before Rio. Luckily, what happened was she then went to the second Olympic qualifier. There she made weight and she won that and she qualified for Rio. So it was fine. But Vinesh has had these weight problems right since 2016. Even
And
at
she's
that one.
been pretty vocal about it.
Yeah.
Matlab it's well documented also that
Uh,
she's had problems, and that was one of the reasons also for her to
move straight
jump
to
from 50 to 53.
yeah, but the another reason why she jumped from 50 to 53, which is maybe not that well known is कि और ये मुझे भी नहीं पता था ये जॉन ने ही मेरे को पॉइंट आउट किया कि up till Rio what used to happen was the weigh-in used to happen one day before the event. Tokyo में the weigh-in happened on the day of the event.
Mm.
Okay, so that itself makes a huge difference because when you have one day if weigh-in अगर एक दिन पहले हो गया then you have one day to rehydrate yourself increase your weight and you can maybe cut more. But now if your weigh-in is happening on the day of the event then it creates a bit of a problem because you don't have too much
Are
time to
we are we sure about it that Rio Made used to happen one day before?
so I'm not sure about Rio and Tokyo. That's what John told me. I did check Paris though.
Mm.
I did check
Because
Paris though.
I remember, I don't know, it could be one day before also. If you remember, London में the story came out from Sushil
कि
that he
सुशील का
was
वेट कम
very,
हो गया
very
था
unwell. कम हो
बट
गया था and he fell very ill immediately after the weight cut and उस like he was literally struggling throughout his bouts.
या
I
बट आई
think वो
थिंक
सुबह ही होगा ना.
नहीं, बट आई थिंक वो इनफैक्ट मेरे को ऐसा आया था वो लंदन में, हाँ लंदन में ही आया था, बट आई थिंक दैट वाज नॉट मेनली बिकॉज ऑफ द वेट कट, इट वाज लाइक ही वाज हैविंग डायरिया प्रॉब्लम्स, जो मुझे याद है.
हाँ, which happened because of the weight cut is what I
Yeah, I'm not
remember.
too sure if it was related to the weight cut, but maybe it can, those things can happen even if the weight cut is one day before, right? But so at least the information I got कि रियो में वो था. The other thing is कि टोक्यो और पेरिस में एक तो ये हो गया कि एक दिन पहले होता था. The other big factor is, and this is probably even a bigger factor, कि Tokyo and Paris में you now have 2 day events, right? The event is not in one day, so you have to weigh in on both days,
Yeah.
which is a big deal. तो तुमको
हाँ
पहले दिन,
वही.
सो
Yeah, it's
पहले,
very difficult for Vinesh that ways. वही
या
मैं
सो
बोल रहा हूँ, मतलब it has to work out for her.
एग्जैक्टली, सो इफ शी कैन गेट टू 50, and so मतलब if you do a comparison, okay, she did a trial yesterday or day before yesterday, जब भी हुआ था, she did a trial where there is generally a 2 kilo allowance. Okay, we don't know if it was there or not, but generally there is a 2 kilo allowance. So let's say 50 की जगह she maybe made 51.5. Okay, so 51.5 she made. She competed in both 50 and 53. She was coming back from an injury. She honestly had an awesome performance. Okay, 50 में सबको धो डाला. 53 में she lost in the semis, but for anybody who hasn't seen, it is very clear. Her target was making the top 4 in 53, and she lost in the semis in 20 seconds. She was basically just standing there कि okay आ कर और खत्म कर. She was like, okay, I need to win the 50. So 53 में that was very clearly a deliberate loss. It
She
was not,
lost 10-0, Kapil.
हाँ 20
She
seconds
wanted
में.
a direct Olympic ticket and she lost 10-0. What
Yes,
are
क्या
you
कर
saying?
सकते हैं, क्या कर सकते हैं, कैसे लोग हैं लोग. 20 सेकंड, 10 nil छोड़ना, 20 सेकंड में हार गई, 20 सेकंड from a state wrestler. What to do? But anyways, coming back to seriousness, so the point is, she made, let's say, 51, and now there are a lot of assumptions here. हम लोग को बहुत कुछ पता नहीं है, but from what I heard, she made like 51 and a half 2 days ago. Okay, which is fine. But then Olympics में she needs to make 52 days in a row, which is very different from making 51 and a half. Which is why also she wants to keep her 53 open, right?
Hmm.
That's the reason. And Rajat is asking why play in two categories. So Rajat, the big reason is that nobody knows what's happening in 53. Okay, वो सारा news आया था कि she held up the trials because she wanted a written assurance and everything. But the point वही है, written assurance के बाद भी nobody knows कि 53 में अंतिम का trial होगा भी कि नहीं. अब अंतिम का trial होगा ही नहीं, and they declare, because आज तक wrestling में trial हुआ नहीं है. आज तक they have just been saying कि whoever wins the quota goes. So उस हिसाब से 53 में if just अंतिम goes, then what is Vinesh supposed to do?
Yeah.
She needs a
She's just
chance, right?
keeping all her options open that way.
Yeah, so she needs a chance. So she basically kept all her options open कि अगर 53 में मुझे बिल्कुल ही चांस नहीं देंगे, at least let me go to 50, let me try to win a quota, let me see if I can make it through 50, and it might very well be her last Olympics if she makes it, right? Uh, Given that she's been playing for a good 10-12 years, she might not make it to 2028, so it might also be a last chance. So she kept her 50 option open, and now it will depend on the weight cut. If she can actually make 50, she can, win the quota, she's comfortable in 50, she might not take on Antim as well and just go for 50. But अगर नहीं हुआ है, 50 का weight cut नहीं हो पा रहा है, then she would like to have a shot at Antim in 53, which she may
Yeah.
or may not get. So बहुत उधर complications है.
ठीक है. So
उसके
yeah, again that's a developing situation.
उसके
अभी
अलावा
तो
we didn't talk about Anshu and Sonam. We need to talk about them.
yeah, that's what I was coming to add. सोनम का तो अनफॉर्चुनेट था.
Very
I don't know
unfortunate, हाँ.
इंजरी है क्या है.
नहीं, but
मतलब
that's
why
what
did she forfeit?
that's what I read. कि she came back from an injury and got injured in the very first match.
Hmm. So yeah.
तो उसका तो मतलब
And
as of
who
now
made
पेरिस
it
खत्म लग रहा
in
है.
place of her?
Manisha was second. Mansi
Mansi,
है.
yes, Mansi.
I think
Is
one
it
of,
the same Mansi who participated in 57?
I don't know.
There
Mansi,
was some Mansi in Asian Games in 57, no?
I'm not sure. But I think
Okay.
there was I think Mansi and Manisha, those are the two. और बीच में इनमें से जो वो साक्षी वर्सेस वो होता था ना, लेट मी जस्ट चेक. मानसी थी ना फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल नेम, किधर गया. या मानसी अलावत. So from what I remember, ये जो साक्षी वर्सेस सोनम होता रहता था बीच में, you remember अपन ने एक स्ट्रीम पे बात की थी कि साक्षी वर्सेस सोनम तो होता रहता था, but now Manisha came in and beat one of them or something. The third one came and I think so. Mansi Manisha also are I guess decent, but I don't know how good. But पता नहीं क्या होगा
Yeah,
वहाँ पे. So Manisha
yeah.
came
For
second by
me,
the way. हाँ, Manisha
hmm,
came second and Mansi came first.
okay, okay. 62 का anyways never had such high hopes.
Hmm.
For me, bigger story was obviously Anshu
Anshu
coming
Malik.
back.
Yeah,
She there is incomplete, story there and capability here. We have all seen
yeah,
that,
no
and
doubt.
even before I think trials, she had gone to Japan for a month long stint training with all the Japanese wrestlers in
Hmm.
their university stadium and training facilities. So yeah, thoda sa abhi bhi don't think she's at the highest of her form, but yeah, it'll be good to have her in Paris and yeah, she definitely is capable of producing a medal on her day.
Yeah, yeah. If she can get back to her best, then definitely a lot of high hopes from her.
Yeah,
Anshu can do it. She can get things done. She is in fact a world championship silver medalist. Okay, I know that world championship was very sparsely contested because it happened like right after Tokyo, but she is technically a world championship silver medalist, and she can definitely uh, make some waves here. If but
yeah,
condition where she needs to be at her best. So let's see. Hopefully she can get there. And yeah,
yeah,
उसके अलावा निशा भी I think you were excited a little bit. She's been a little bit up and down. I
yeah.
think
Up and down, but again,
loses the big
capability
matches.
wise, does show that she's capable to beat.
I have a little doubts about the stamina of निशा. मतलब generally मुझे ऐसा लगा है she does well in the earlier matches. Later matches में थोड़ा उतना अच्छा performance नहीं आता है जो मुझे at least feeling आई है. But
Mm.
let's see.
Okay, okay. Yeah, Ritika would be a fairly new name.
Yeah. वो and 76 generally अपना weak ही है.
अपना वीक है बट आई डोंट नो
A
मतलब
couple of girls
आई
were
वुड
coming around, but yeah, I don't know
yeah.
क्या है.
So Ritika did beat
Priya Malik, yeah.
Tia Malik only in 76 kg.
Hmm.
So let's see if maybe acha, but in this case again, Ritika will participate in Asian qualifiers as well as world qualifiers,
Yeah.
right? So acha, but there could be again trials before Olympics. So Priya still has
मुझे
it.
लगता है ट्रायल होंगे तो सब जगह होंगे वरना नहीं होंगे.
हाँ
ये
ठीक है
दैट इज
but
वन फीलिंग आई हैव.
overall my point is 76 me even if let's say we get a decent wrestler like someone at a level of let's say even Anshu 76 ka global level pe if you see the competition is not that high like there are not designated wrestlers who are set to win those couple of medals which is there in almost every category and there are just two medals left typically right for everyone else to win वैसा 76 में नहीं है तो
ठीक है.
दैट वेज थोड़ा सा है कि मतलब अगर इफ समवन कैन become really really good in 76 kg so that ways our chances are good.
ठीक है, देखते हैं. आई मीन आई वुड बी मोर ऑन द लाइंस ऑफ क्वालिफाई हो जाओ 76 में, बहुत बड़ी बात है. आई एम ऑन दैट लाइंस रादर देन
हाँ
मेडल.
वो भी आई डोंट थिंक इससे पहले कभी किया है.
ठीक है, ग्रेको का तो वी डोंट रियली नो ऑनेस्टली. तो वी आर एज ब्लाइंड एज एनीबडी. ज़्यादा फॉलो करते ही नहीं है. ठीक है. उसके अलावा या सो आई थिंक मोस्ट ऑफ इट वी आर डन.
या
एक्सेप्ट तेरा जो लास्ट इट हैज़ बीन अ लॉन्ग स्ट्रीम. तुझे कितना बोलना है तू देख ले.
तू मतलब एम्बैरेस करके ही छोड़ेगा.
तुझे नहीं बोलना है मत बोल. मुझे कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है.
तू ठीक है मैं ऐसे बोल देता हूँ बट इट्स ओके वी डोंट नीड टू सी द पिक्चर्स दैट्स फाइन.
ऐसा थोड़ी होता है.
So,
बोलो बोलो बोलो.
guys, just a small thing. I got this opportunity to attend Trailblazers Conclave, which was organized by Mr. Boria Majumdar in Kolkata. So the thing is, मतलब ठीक है, I was there for 2 days. It was hell lot of crazy experience for me. Amazing listening to so many different perspectives of some of the legend of our sport, some of the existing athletes also. So yeah, there were so many topics discussed, how they tackle the pressure, how is it going, how they are going to prepare mentally for Olympics, what is in general the mindset before every competition while they're doing stuff. So lots and lots of things were discussed. कुछ funny moments भी थे, for instance, जैसे as is expected on these lines also, like
दोनों को अपने
Nikhat.
को खांसी हो रखी है थोड़ी बहुत।
Yeah,
बोल
इतना बोलने पे वो थोड़ा हो भी जाता है.
हम्म।
So like Nikhat was asked that, what is that one wow moment of your career so far? ऐसा कुछ उससे पूछा था. So can you imagine what was her answer? Like you
सलमान खान
would.
के साथ वो वीडियो।
Yeah, not the first World Cup, winning the first World Championship gold or anything, but हाँ सलमान खान के साथ मिलना. So things like these. One of the aspects one of the stories which I remember is Sri Shankar. Like he was asked that after the Budapest debacle, how did you overcome that? So he said that he had an option to sulk, just go back home, try and forget everything, or the other option was 2 days after that Budapest World Championship, there was a Diamond League, I think in Lausanne or something. We just took 30 minutes to sort of prep up and sort of cajoled himself कि हाँ नहीं मेरे को करना है, past is past, I'll just go for it. Spoke to Neeraj said that you should definitely go for it, इस तरीके के chances नहीं आते हैं. Diamond League is also a big deal, right? So that ways he went for it and it was amazing. And personally for me, I think I got a chance to meet a few of these, to interact with a few of these
Yeah,
athletes
we can
on
see
one
all
on
the
one.
selfies by the way, and I'll just cut Vaibhav एक
But
second
these are
just।
not selfies, by the way.
हाँ, these are not selfies, मतलब ठीक है बोलने के लिए we can see all the photos by the way, and I'll just cut Vaibhav एक second बोलने के लिए, he didn't want to show all of them, he just wanted to show couple of them, and मैंने बोला क्या problem है, he actually said कि showing all of them is narcissistic. Okay, so I'm just saying that मतलब तो you guys can call him narcissist, right? Eventually agreed.
I didn't even want to show the pictures. You were hell bent कि हाँ मैंने तो तेरे साथ share की थी.
हाँ ठीक है। अच्छा, and by the way, before you start talking, I'll just put a question for the chat if anybody is interested. How many can you identify here? And most importantly, can anybody identify this bottom center one? If you can identify the bottom center one, then you are the true Olympic fan. Okay? ठीक है, बोल तू।
Let me just add on to that. Kapil was not able to identify him, and he came up with a very crazy answer. Yeah, you better recognize and
Hmm.
show Kapil that how easily he is recognizable.
Yeah, so there is one answer from Samrat. I'm not going to say right or wrong. Other people can give their own answers if anybody is interested. Samrat का एक आंसर आया है. Okay. And yeah, top right is also top right and top left. Those are the other two difficult to identify a little bit.
Yeah, I'll answer on the top right. She's presently one of my favorite, Indian athletes, possibly going to Paris. I definitely had to meet her and interact with her, which I got a chance as well. So yeah, I what I told her that like I told her about our channel thoda sa briefly, and
Hmm.
I told her that we like discuss you particularly at length, and it's just crazy to think how can you score six consecutive 590 plus scores.
Hmm.
And she was shocked that how on earth someone can know that. But we had discussed it, so I remember that as a matter of fact. So yeah, it was good. फनीली मैंने एक पीछे कैलेंडर कस्टमाइज कराया था with all the you know
Hmm.
12 athletes. So I sort of told her that you are also there as one of the month. So such kind of interactions. Jyoti got a chance to meet her also. Like told her that expecting you to dip below 12.7 seconds and stuff. So overall good. I think for me, like I met so many of them, but मेरे लिए सबसे special what I feel is meeting Amit Rohidas, who by the way is the answer also
Yeah, and
that
I'll
Kapil
just
couldn't
add that,
recognize.
yeah, I didn't get it. I guessed Kishore Jena, by the way, and Samrat got it immediately. Prasanna has got it later as well. I don't know if he copied from Samrat or not, but Samrat got it immediately. So well done, Samrat. That's all I can say.
Yeah. So yeah, meeting him was very, very special. The way he still conducts himself, how humble and how down to earth that person is, and I was in awe of his simplicity. So, and obviously listening to him also on stage, the way he approached every question. So yeah, that was very pretty amazing, especially meeting Amit Rohidas. Uh, Overall, I think काफी अच्छा experience था. Yes, one last thing. I was in awe of, you would have heard Kolkata has its own charm, right? They have like huge sports fan coming from the city. I could see that in today's age also. You wouldn't believe, Kapil, there were at least 10, not even middle age. There were at least 10 people above 40s and 50s who had actual postcards or diaries for autographs of these athletes. Not They were not after selfies. They were not after pictures. They just wanted that old school traditional autograph of
Autographs.
the athletes. So it was special to see that. And one another special moment which happened was 175 80-year old person was sitting on my table only with that old diary, and apparently he is like a huge sports fan, like both of us, like everyone in the chat. So I started talking to him. We sat together and we started interacting. Apparently he's a huge badminton fan, has been following Indian badminton for many, many years. I asked him which is the most, because his diary was full of autographs. So I asked him which is the most cherished autograph that you have. So he says Nandu Natekar. So I quickly like Googled who. I mean, you've heard the name that he's one of the badminton legends, but you don't know who Nandu Natikar is, what
See,
his
I mean,
achievement.
I'll be honest. If you would have told me that name, I would have guessed tennis player rather than badminton player.
Yeah. So yeah, I checked that he's multiple times national champion and he won Asian Championship medal in 1965. Nandu
Mm,
Natikar.
mm,
And the uncle told me that he's good friends with Vimal and Prakash Padukone both. He's been traveling for national championship for many years, and he told me this story that when Laksh won, not won, but Laksh, you would remember he was just 15 and he had reached national championship final in Nagpur,
mhm,
where he had equaled Prakash's record of being the youngest in a national championship final.
mm.
In the same championship, he had beaten Pranoy also in the second round.
Okay.
So he said that he went all the way from Kolkata to Nagpur to watch those national championships, and he got an autograph of Laksh, which he says is very special for him. So these kind of things, and it was like simply amazing, meeting him. And yeah, we exchange numbers. He keeps on messaging me. Abhi All England chal raha hai, French Open chal raha tha last week. So he's updating me with all those messages. Ki Lakshya won against Li Shifang and stuff like that. So overall, very very amazing experience.
कभी मूड हो तो स्ट्रीम पे बुलाना, मजे करेंगे.
हाँ ठीक है. I can ask. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, ठीक है. So
Yeah, that's about this
दोनों दिन
experience.
बहुत मजे किए तूने.
Right, it was good.
Mm. But you have to tell that one last story before we close.
Which is
Shift वाली story जो तूने मेरे को बताई थी.
what?
जो तूने मेरे को बताई थी शिफ्ट वाली story.
Pronunciation.
हाँ. That story you have to tell. That is the perfect end. So this is
अरे
gonna be the
अभी
last story, guys. Before we end, बोलो. तू नहीं बोलेगा तो मैं बोलूँगा. बोल.
कुछ भी नहीं है. इट्स अ वेरी फ्रिवलेस स्टोरी कि मतलब अभी तक भी श्योरिटी नहीं है कि व्हाट इज द करेक्ट प्रोनाउंसिएशन.
नहीं,
सो
उसने क्लियर कर दिया. फिर तू बोल तो सही. स्टोरी बोल.
the story was everyone was calling her name as Sift, and she was there among the panel sitting on the stage. And so Raja sir was Mr. G Rajaraman. He was sitting like close by to me. So I told him that I think like Twitter pay it has been discussed. We have discussed it in live stream that the correct pronunciation is Sifat, and also Sifat looks seemingly a more Punjabi
पंजाबी
name,
ने.
right? So I told him I think it's Sifat. So then I think वो उन्होंने communicate किया stage पे कि maybe it is Sifat. So they actually asked Sifat if it is Sifat or Sif. So she only said it's Sif. So yeah, that's about it.
हाँ
इसमें
नहीं द डिफरेंस इज यहाँ पे ना इसने मे बी चेप दिया ओके वहां पे ही वॉज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट कॉन्फिडेंटली राजा सर को बोला सिफ्ट नहीं है सिफत है राजा सर गोज टू बोरिया टेल्स हिम कि सिफ्ट नहीं है सिफत है बोरिया इन अ लाइव डिस्कशन आस्क्स सर हाउ डू यू प्रोनाउंस योर नेम सिफ्ट और सिफत एंड शी सेज सिफ्ट and that is the story why Weber will not get an invitation next year. Okay.
Thanks, Kapil.
हाँ बड़ा मे भी चिपका दिया उसके पहले अच्छी तरह से वेरी
चलो
गुड
ठीक है. Let's close this
हाँ
discussion
चलो
now. And any parting thoughts last में?
चलो गाइस सो या ग्रेट स्ट्रीम आज 2.5 घंटा चलेगा हम लोग नॉर्मली हम लोग 2 घंटे का रखते हैं थोड़ा बहुत बट वी वेंट अ लॉट टुडे एंड या अपेरेंटली ट्रिका का मैच हैज स्टार्टेड सो स्ट्रीम बंद करो जाओ मैच देखो और क्या
मतलब
एंड वील
अप्रैल
ट्राई
में कुछ क्या what is to look forward to and stuff?
या अप्रैल में तो बहुत कुछ है इफ आई जस्ट लिस्ट डाउन द क्वालिफायर्स वी हैव कैंडिडेट्स मैं बोल ही चुका हूँ टेनिस में ठीक है एक आधा 1000 इवेंट इज कमिंग बट ओके वी हैव बैडमिंटन एशिया चैम्प्स विच इज लाइक द लास्ट बैडमिंटन क्वालिफायर वी हैव शूटिंग के लिए वी हैव फाइनल क्वालिफायर्स बोथ राइफल पिस्टल एंड शॉटगन वी हैव टेबल टेनिस का सॉरी टेबल टेनिस का वी हैव मिक्स डबल्स का वर्ल्ड क्वालिफायर एंड उसके अलावा वी हैव सेलिंग का क्वालिफायर रेसलिंग का एशियन क्वालिफायर है रोइंग का क्वालिफायर है
Shooting?
शूटिंग बोला ना राइफल पिस्टल शॉटगन
अच्छा
दोनों ही है
shooting बोला. Okay.
हाँ इनफैक्ट एटीपी 1000 भी दो इवेंट्स है मोंटे कार्लो एंड मड्रिड इन टेनिस फेंसिंग का भी एशियन ओलंपिक क्वालिफायर है विच आई थिंक इज द बेस्ट चांस फॉर द भवानी और द करण सिंह टू गेट थ्रू आई डोंट थिंक दे आर गेटिंग थ्रू based on rankings and in the end yeah right at the end of April we have a Thomas and Uber Cup as well so big April coming up उसके पहले भी वेट लिफ्टिंग वर्ल्ड कप है एक आई डोंट नो इफ पीपल आर गोइंग इन टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ मार्च या that are the major events which are coming up
Yeah.
big April yeah
ठीक है. Hopefully once those events are done, we'll come back again.
I guess hockey we didn't talk but ठीक है it's like men did well women didn't do well that's the bottom line
Yeah, we should have actually spoken over it. There were a
वो
couple of resignations. ठीक है, but we'll take it sometime else. It's already 2.5 hours.
काफी लेट हो गया ठीक है चलो guys bye bye have fun hopefully we'll come back
Thanks,
soon
guys.
again
Thank you for joining in. See you later. Bye bye.
bye bye